listen, if I fart in a bathroom stall, if I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I have a body. It does shit. I can't help it. It just is what it is. Also, guess what? It's real good looking sometimes. And it can do real sexy stuff too. But like, it can make people feel good.
Some people might think your farts are sexy.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they're pretty horrific.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
I don't know why we are even doing this podcast today. It doesn't feel like, you know what I mean? Because it's just like the world it's just a disaster. So
it is a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but maybe that's the best time to do this podcast.
Sure. I mean, one might argue, I guess. Yes. Okay.
Because if we're feeling like the world is a disaster, I'm sure everyone is feeling that way.
Caissie almost died last night.
What? How did you almost die?
Did you see my Instagram stories? No, you didn't, because you didn't have time, because you've been doing other things.
Yeah, I guess I must have missed it. I saw Gina ate something on the street.
That was
like
2 days ago.
24 hours ago.
Yeah, that was like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's just a different lifetime. So many things have changed. I mean, so many things have happened.
What happened?
I don't even understand where to start. Should we I don't know where to start.
Just start wherever you can.
Yesterday was the ACLU, the big ACLU benefit, the Sing Out for Freedom.
Yes.
There were incredible people performing. Patti Smith.
Amazing.
I presented Patti Smith with her honor.
That's very cool.
I gave a speech to Patti Smith, and it was wild.
That's
insane.
Yeah, that's
actually
like a once in a lifetime moment.
Correct. It was surreal. And I was, I had agreed to host this event many, 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 many moons ago, over the summer.
Yeah, yeah.
And originally, Renee was going to be able to co-host with me.
Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Yes. And then she had a conflict.
Okay.
But this was 2 months ago. I knew this.
Right.
And then I was thinking about our friend Sarah Jones.
Right. Who's coming on the podcast.
Who's coming on the podcast and has her incredible film that is out now streaming and is in limited theaters called Sell by Date, which, guys, maybe you want to watch before she's a guest on our podcast in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's streaming already, I believe.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
I think it is. I am too. I saw her live show when we were doing Busy Tonight, and she's actually a fucking certified damn genius. So, so I sort of begged her. I knew she was going to be in town for her movie stuff, and I kind of asked if there was any way she would agree to co-host with me, just because it's it was kind of a big benefit,
Yeah.
And it's a lot. And also I wanted to do it with a friend, honestly.
Of course.
And she's so funny and great and whatever. But so yesterday was the day of the thing, and I was working in Atlanta last week. Oh, and I got food poisoning. Did I tell you about the food poisoning situation?
No, I don't know about the food poisoning.
No, because the food poisoning happened after I did the podcast last week. I went to dinner with a friend of mine, Crystal, who was in town, and I ordered something I never fucking order, and it's so weird. I ordered a rare tuna burger.
Okay.
Why did I do this? We don't know. We make choices every moment. Every moment is a choice.
Yeah.
I made the choice. I ate 3/4 of the rare tuna burger.
Sure.
And then at 3 a.m, I woke up and it was horrible. pain. Like I had terrible pain.
Right.
And, I like, as we've said before on this podcast, we could have made a t-shirt of it. Like I can diarrhea with the best of them. But this was like, I was like burping. And like I wasn't gonna. It was weird. Like I felt like I'm not gonna throw up. Like I knew I wasn't gonna throw up.
Right.
But I just kept like burping.
Yeah.
Like belching, like in the most disgusting way.
Like
and then
tuna poison.
I was poisoned. And then I started getting diarrhea that was like not like my IBS, which like I can like I've always been able to.
That's the enemy.
I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I know the devil. I know. This was like just turning a faucet on and off, like in such a horrifying way. Like I was so sick all night. And then I was leaving to go work in Atlanta the next day, you know?
Always great to get on a plane with with liquid diarrhea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, truly. And like burping like I'm like Robert Durst, like like I'm guilty of murder and I'm like just belching. It was just so bizarre. And I felt so sick. And so I like barely ate on Tuesday. I went to Whole Foods. Well, I didn't really eat during the day.
Sure.
I had some crackers.
Sure.
And then and this is controversial. I'm not going to lie. I made choices. my life has been a series of choices,
Yeah.
And they lead me to the places where I end up. And like, I'm the one that has to deal with that. So all of this led to me almost dying, but then thank God Light Team fucking swooped in. Okay. So my flight was delayed. I had to go to a wardrobe fitting immediately, which I was like, my belly was like distended from bloat,
right, right.
And like, it wasn't like
from
the kind of thing where
gases.
Yeah. From the toxic tuna gases. Yeah. And it wasn't like the kind of thing where you're like, ooh, I like had diarrhea. So like I look thin. Like that's also, by the way, just a myth. Like it's
not
doesn't,
true.
It's
diarrhea
not true.
Like nearly always means that your guts are swollen in some way, in my experience.
Yes. So anyway, I had to go to my wardrobe fitting, which like, is never your favorite moment if you're not feeling great anyway. Like,
right. You don't want to shit an outfit you don't own.
For real. I mean, I was wearing like white shorts in one of my scenes. I'm like, well, fingers crossed, guys. Anyway, but I was like feeling I had taken like Pepto-Bismol and Tums and stuff, Yeah. So I was feeling better. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go to a Whole Foods on my way back to the hotel. And I had like checked into this hotel that they had me in, but I didn't even like go into the room because I just was like, I had to go to the wardrobe fitting that I was late for because my flight was like 2 hours delayed. Okay. So it's like 7 p.m. And the Whole Foods is like next to the original Houston's restaurant, like the very first one, the OG Houston's.
Oh, wow. I love that. I would love to go there.
Well, I did. Day after food poisoning. I know. But I was just like, I can do this, fries and fries and a veggie burger feels safe.
Yeah. Even like maybe it would help.
That's what it did feel. It felt like it was like bread and like it felt like it was going to help. It didn't hurt is what I'm going to say. It really didn't.
Okay.
It felt okay. But then, like 4 a.m, woke up and was like, oh boy, here we go again. So then it was like, but then I was like, okay during the day. So for the last literally, it didn't happen last night. But if I'm being honest, I didn't eat.
Right.
Last night because I had to go to the ACLU benefit at 3 p.m. to do like sound check and run through everything. And then I had to stay there to do my hair and makeup because it was too hard to get back to like my house and then get back. And so all I really ate was like this little piddly muffin that I brought with me.
Okay.
I had lunch. I had chickens. I had chicken soup for lunch.
Okay.
And then I didn't have anything. So, but the night before, again, I woke up at 4 a.m, so much pain, faucet diarrhea. So anyway, that's been like a journey. So I flew. So, also then, and like, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm sorry. What I'm about to say is so, I'm sorry. Anyway, I couldn't stay in the hotel that they had put me in.
Right. I did see that.
Listen, it's not for me. It's not for her. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm not trying, it's not that conditions even need to be perfect, but they just can't be disgusting, you know?
Right.
And it was like kind of gross. And and I was just not and also like randomly I was like put in a bed with like 2 full beds put in a room, not a bed. I was put in a room with 2 full beds instead of like one king bed, and like it was janky. I just was not in the mood. I couldn't do it.
All right.
So I went to work and had a really great day working with Sophia from Single Drunk Female. What's her last name? Sophia. I don't want to say the wrong last name because I feel like I'm going to.
Sophia Black Delia.
Oh, it is Black. I was going to say Sophia Black, and then I was like, that can't be right. That sounds like not right, but it is Sophia Black Delia. She's adorable. She's so good, and we had a really great time working together. And so when I wrapped work,
Wait, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Did you get to do a scene with Ali Sheedy or no?
No, but we did a table read on the same Zoom.
That's exciting for me.
Yes, it was exciting. It is exciting.
Yeah.
There's also like a spoiler alert. There's also an exciting Breakfast Club reunion on the show this year. I don't know if they've promoted it yet, so I don't want to say anything else.
Okay. Say no more.
But I think it's okay that no one asked me to sign an NDA.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So, anyway, no, most of my stuff is just with Sophia. And then I had some stuff with Rebecca. Oh my God, why am I blanking on
whose
her
last name you also can't remember?
She's married to Leslie Headland. She plays the sponsor on the show. Oh my God,
Rebecca Henderson?
Yep, Rebecca Henderson. You know who she is. She's an actress. Anyway, so I booked it back to gross hotel number 1. Oh, because by the time I got back to my hotel after Houston's, which by the way, I sat at the bar, and because I was just me, I waited it was like packed. Yeah. Houston's is always packed.
Yeah. Yeah. I waited,
I waited for like an hour. I sat by myself at the bar. These ladies across from me recognized me, and they were really cute. This one lady was like, "Oh my God, I knew it!" Like they just said my name loudly or something. Like, and I was like, looked up, and then she was like, "I told you." And they were just really cute and funny, and they like just clearly had like one Cosmo and were like having a great time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were just adorbs. So shout out to those ladies. And I was sitting next to this nice guy who seemed like just like a wealthy Southern gentleman. And I truly at some point, we're sitting next to each other eating.
Yeah.
Singles. Like he's wearing a wedding ring, whatever. I'm not saying like we're single people. I'm just saying we were like
chatting. Yeah. You were both on your own.
Right. And so that's a better way of saying it. So I just was like, well, fuck it. What do I care? So I'm like, you're voting for Stacey Abrams, right? And Raphael Warnock, because I mean, it's crazy. You can't listen. I mean, I'm sure, tax breaks are a thing, but like you can't do it anymore. These people are fucking crazy out here.
Oh my God.
Why not just go for it? What do I care?
Just go for it.
I just went for it. He was like non-committal. I will say he was like, it's always a fucking mess. He literally was like, it's always a fucking mess here. And I was like, yeah, but this is a particular mess. I mean, the rights of people being stripped away. And it's not great. You got to kind of think about that and what you're saying with your vote, especially if you have kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, it seemed like I couldn't tell.
Okay. All right.
But it didn't matter because at least I got to say what I wanted to say.
You said what you wanted to say.
Which is just like in a nice way in that third place.
Right.
You know,
right.
Houston's
in
the
that
third place.
Yeah.
In my third place with someone who maybe, I don't know, was like just going to vote how he always voted. And I just was like,
said
let's
what you
just
had
talk
to
about
say.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just was like, it's just, you know, it's difficult that you can't vote to be fiscally conservative because at this point, like that, you know, the Republican Party has been co-opted by extremists.
It's not great. Yeah.
What are you going to, you know? Anyway, it was fine. He was like, then he started talking about the Fed and I was like, I don't understand what he's talking about. So, but he was very nice. So then I go back to the hotel. It's super late. The guys that were working downstairs were really nice because I was like, guys, this has 2 beds in it. And they and there's no bathtub, which was always my big thing, especially with the stomach feeling as it did. I bought a giant bag of Epsom salts. Totally
as usual.
No use for it.
Yeah.
There's not a fucking bathtub to be had anywhere in the goddamn city. They sent me on a wild goose chase to other rooms to look for a bath. None of them had it.
Yeah.
No, it was insane. And
I
finally
feel
I
like
was
that's
you
the
know
kind
what?
of thing that they should know, maybe, but
I don't understand. Nobody does. Anyway, I'm like, great. Guys, I am just going to stay in this room tonight. Thank you. It was late. I was tired. I went to bed and I was just like, I'm not staying here. This is not happening. So I switched hotels after work. The new hotel was nice. No bathtub. The guy was like, we have one room with a bathtub. I was like, what is happening?
it's so weird. Well, I think, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, I think most hotels don't have bathtubs for a few reasons now. I think most hotels are switching out their bathtubs. I think that showers are more...
Guys, I'm talking about a separate... I'm not talking about a shower tub.
Yes.
We're talking about a separate tub.
Yes.
And a shower.
Right. But I think it's like a thing where if you had a separate shower and a tub, then I think it still would be ADA compliant. But I feel like the existence of a tub maybe makes it harder to advertise it as that. I'm not 100% sure. But also, second, I have to think that tubs are a big liability for hotels. Because if someone, people have accidents getting in and out of tubs, as you well know, because I almost killed myself getting into the beautiful tub at your birthday celebration in Mexico.
I remember now.
Shout out to Dr. Seema for talking me through that one. But of course, I didn't sue the hotel because it was 100%. Well, no. I mean, listen, it was a beautiful resort that your birthday celebration was at, but it was one of those rooms where there was a shower that sort of just showered onto the entire bathroom floor. And I did slip on the wet bathroom floor getting into the beautiful tub. And that is how I almost broke my own leg off. So I think it's got to be kind of like if I had hit my head and died, that would have been a real damper on the birthday party for me. And it very easily could have happened.
I think it would have ruined the party for me.
I would have hoped that you would still have the party, but maybe have like a moment of silence for me.
There's no fucking way I would still have the party. Are you out of your mind? What's wrong with you?
Everybody was already there in Mexico and there was like...
So what do we turn it into a funeral? Caissie, what are you talking about?
Well, I would want my funeral to be that fun of a party.
Can I tell you something? Josh Myers, this was like fucking 20 years ago now. Maybe like 17 years ago, actually. Because Mark and I had just started dating. I don't fucking know. Anyway, the point is, Mark and I were dating.
Yeah.
Or married. Or... who knows?
Friends.
But there was a wedding of one of his friends in Mexico that I didn't go to. We were just dating. I know it. I know it now for sure. We were just dating. That I didn't go to with him, even though I was invited. But I went to see Michelle instead because it was Matilda's first birthday. Whoa, she really pulled that out. Okay, so 16 years ago. This week? Yeah, 16 years ago this week.
Wow. Weird. Huh.
Mark went to Mexico for a wedding with a bunch of friends. Josh Myers was there. Josh and some people, Mark didn't go, went on.
Josh Myers, we should say, is Seth Meyers' brother.
He's Seth Meyers' brother, but he's also like, he's an actor
his
and
own-
a
yeah,
writer
yeah.
and a friend of mine.
Yeah.
We can also just say he's a friend of mine.
Yes, yeah.
He's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And he's like in our like
Yeah.
friend circle for many years.
Yeah.
So he and some people, it was Zihuatanejo that they were in.
Okay.
And he and some people in the wedding party went ziplining. You're going to die. This is insane. His zipline fucking broke. He fell in the jungle he fell 50 feet. He broke both his legs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. At this fucking wedding in Mexico.
Oh my God.
And they still had the wedding.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
Obviously.
He survived, but holy shit.
He survived.
It
was crazy. And they had to re-break his legs in the United States because they hadn't been.
And he has really long legs, so they must have really broke. You know
they
what
really
I mean?
broke. He crumpled.
Yeah.
But there are insane pictures of him in a wheelchair with 2 giant bandages and just hepped up on all kinds of pain drugs. But
can I say
literally
huge credit to Josh Myers, because I've met him a number of times and he has never told me this story. And if it had happened to me, I would open every conversation with a new friend with this story.
It is kind of wild. It is a wild fucking story. You're right. I know another guy who he was my friend from college's cousin, and he was kind of always around because he lived near us in Playa del Rey.
Yeah.
And he had saved up for this European vacation for himself when he graduated from college.
Okay.
So this is the saddest. And it was this he had picked some kind of tour, bus tour, vacation thing, whatever. And he was in, I think, Italy or Spain, and was on this bridge, and it collapsed.
Oh my gosh.
And he was on it, and he broke both arms. He broke both arms. That was he broke both of his arms, but he survived.
Oh God.
But it was a story. It was you could find it in the news because it was a pedestrian, touristy bridge.
Right.
That just crumpled.
Right.
Crumbled.
Right.
And with him on it, and other people too. I don't think anyone died, but he was really injured. But he was fine. He ended up being fine. So this is all to say, if you had died at my birthday,
yeah,
I 100% would have canceled my fucking birthday. It's so stupid. But if you had just broken a leg,
yeah,
party would have gone on.
I would have been at the party. I mean, I was at the party, and I felt like I had, in fact, broken my leg, but I just sucked it up. I don't even think I really told Matt how badly I hurt myself. I think I only told Seema. I was like, Seema, I've told this on the podcast before. Seema, I bumped my leg really hard getting into a bathtub in Mexico. It's now I have a hard lump on the inside of my leg. It's the size of an avocado, and it's the worst black and blue I've ever had. And she made me send her pictures, and she was delighted, and it was disgusting, but she was you're gonna live, girl. But
well, you did, and thank God for that. Green pan, green pan. Everybody loves their green pan.
It's true.
I remember when I sort of found out that nonstick pans and different pots and pans were giving off toxins and putting it into the food. And then I was like, oh no. What do we do then? What do we use? This is why I was thrilled to discover Green Pan. They created a new alternative without forever chemicals. Green Pan introduced the world to ceramic nonstick cookware. They have over 150 patents to prove it. They're the leaders in creating cookware without harmful toxins. And then here's the other thing that I'm just going to say. It's adorable. It's cute. They've got cute colors. It looks super cute to cook with it.
Yeah.
I've been cooking a lot at home using my green pans. I got a full set.
Same. And by the way, they're really sturdy because my guys, they don't care if anything is cute. You know, they're just going to use the heck out of something. And they've been using the heck out of these beautiful yellow, sunny green pans that I have. And they still look brand new.
And mine are blue.
Yes.
I have like the navy ones and they're so cute. And I feel like, honestly, a little preppy. I feel like they're a little preppy. Sometimes I'm like, my pans are preppy, but I love them so much. Give your kitchen a little refresh. I also truly believe this is such a great Christmas gift for like a sibling, adult siblings. Or like,
is.
It's a great wedding present.
Yes.
It's a great like gift for someone you love a lot.
And Green Pan also owns their own factory. So other companies are making cheap products, cheap materials, because, you know, that's what people do now. Green Pan makes sure their products live up to their standards, and they're doing everything they can to keep our world green. They use recycled aluminum in all of their products, and they have 50 employees dedicated to quality control.
Yeah. So remember, healthy cooking is about more than just the food you make. It's the products that you cook in too. Right now, Green Pan has an exclusive offer for Doing Her Best listeners. If you go to greenpan.us and use promo code BEST, you'll receive 30% off your entire order plus free shipping on orders over $99. So whether you buy one pan or a whole set, you're going to get 30% off. It's a good deal. So head to greenpan.us and use our promo code BEST. Fly by Jing. We love you so much.
That was perfectly jazzy. Fly by Jing is like, it's
perfectly jazzy.
It's perfectly jazzy. It's my favorite food jazz.
Oh my God, it is fucking food jazz. That is exactly what it is. Fly by Jing, if you guys haven't gotten into it yet, is the first modern Chinese food company in America that has put spicy chili crisp on the map. And let me tell you something. Now she's there. She's staying.
If you're bored of food, and I hear people talking about this all the time, like, what do I can't think of one more dinner. I can't think of one more. You need to get Fly by Jing and all of their products in your life, because we're not just talking like put it on some chicken. Yeah, that's delicious. Put it on some veggies. Great. But I'm also saying like ice cream, watermelon, put it in some cocktails.
Well, the watermelon is delicious.
Yes.
Cocktails, great idea. Pizza, 100%. You've been telling me about the ice cream, and honestly, I'm going to need you to be there for that. I need you.
Okay.
I need you to do it for me, and I'm in. I'm into trying. I just need you to do it.
Okay.
So, I mean, honestly, the triple threat is Fly by Jing's best-selling trio of addictive Szechuan sauces: the Szechuan chili crisp, which is the OG, that's what we're talking about, the Zong sauce, and the Mala spice mix. You're going to put them on everything. Again, I'm going to say it. Great gifts. These are great gifts.
Yes.
Also, guys, you know we love it. We love to see it. Female-founded company. Jing Gao founded the company in 2018, inspired by the amazing flavors of her hometown, Chengdu, and its famous fly restaurants, which are soulful, hole-in-the-wall eateries so good they attract diners like flies. Anyway, I'm a big fan. I love it so much. I want you guys to try it and love it so much too. It's like, it's the new thing. You're going to want it in your pantry. Are you ready?
It's going to bring a spark back to your eyes.
I'm telling you.
Swear to God.
Are you ready to step up your game and elevate your favorite recipes? Get 15% off your entire order at flybajing.com/busy or use code busy at checkout. That's FLYBYJING.com/busy for 15% off your first order. You can also find Fly by Jing in over 2,500 locations across the country, including, but not limited to, Costco, Whole Foods, Target, and Wegmans. Thank you, Fly by Jing. So anyway, back to
food poisoning extravaganza.
So I'm there. I'm working on Friday. I had agreed, to do the thing on Saturday for the vote forward.
Yes.
And the letter writing to remind people to get to the polls in key races in key places. And so I was looking at the schedule and I was like, I can get out Friday night. And the alternative was like, I would have to take the first flight back on Saturday morning, which means like waking up at like 4:30 in the morning,
No, thank you. You've been through enough.
So I did. They didn't believe me. The ADs were like, you're not going to make the 9:30. We're just going to put you on the 10:30. By the way, I could have made the 9:30, just FYI.
Of course. Yeah,
Of course. I know how to travel.
You're you, yeah.
I walk through security. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I have all the things that get me to the lines that go the fastest. Anyway, I can't pick them. Don't have me pick them. If I pick them, then I'll be waiting for 14 hours.
Right.
But because I have like clear and I'm TSA pre-check
Yes.
and like in first class because, whatever. Because I'm being flown.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but I take the 10:30 back. The guy next to me on the plane was really farting.
Well, then, I mean, maybe he had bad tuna too.
Maybe.
Did it make you feel more comfortable that you could then like belch tuna belches with abandon?
I wasn't having, no, I wasn't still at that point.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. But then that 4 a.m., I had it again that night, waking up the next morning. It was so weird. It just kept coming back. So then did the volunteering thing, then letter writing. We wrote 5,000 letters.
That's incredible.
I wrote 10.
Well,
I'm just going to say.
They wrote 4,990 and you wrote 10.
Oh, lots of people there.
Yeah.
People were just like writing those letters.
That's like
it was
some
fun.
Hamilton shit.
It was. We wrote our way out, guys. So anyway, and Zoe Lister-Jones came with me and we like sort of did it together, which was good. And anyway, so that was that. What was Sunday? I don't know. Oh, apple picking. That's what I wanted to tell you.
You went apple picking.
It's like basically the last weekend to apple pick. Birdie really wanted to go. I really wanted to go to the Holland Ridge Farms in New Jersey for the last weekend of flower picking. And I bought tickets to that. And then Birdie shot me down because that was not apple picking. And that was specifically what she and Bevan had requested to do.
Okay.
And I was annoyed, but also like, okay, that's fine.
Also, apples, the A part of the brat diet, which you probably should have been following at this point.
I've basically just been eating crackers and sometimes chicken soups.
Okay. All right. Those, bananas, rice, applesauce, toast.
Right. And I think why toast, yes. And I think why I got sick after my flight that night was because all I did eat for dinner was a bag of Fritos.
Oh, yeah. Fritos are the best snack. I just recently had a long conversation with a new acquaintance about how Fritos are the best snack. They work for PepsiCo, so they were on board, but probably not the best dinner.
Look at this apple I picked.
It looks perfect. It looks like an apple that a wicked witch would try to get you to eat.
I know. And look at my nails are like Wicked Witch nails.
Yeah, you got it going on there.
Oh my God, this is so good. This apple is like literally
so good.
delicious.
But it's not a delicious apple. Because those are so bad. Those taste like nickels, dirty nickels.
No. This is like...
That looks like a Braeburn apple.
It is a Braeburn.
I know my apples. I'm from New England.
Wow.
Apples are a lot better
on the East Coast.
It's
one thing. It's the one thing that we have.
They're good on the East Coast, but they're also like a lot more fun than they used to be. There's so many, like, they have so many fun apple varieties that didn't used to be like readily available. That's the one thing maybe that's good about globalization is that we are more familiar with different apples and we're able to get them. So we're not stuck with old like Macintosh, Delicious, and Granny Smith. Those are all fine, except for Delicious apples are bad. If one person out there likes Delicious apples, hit me up because I want to talk to you about it. And I want to talk to you about what other foods you like because I want to see if your taste buds are broken.
Golden Delicious? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Red Delicious. Golden Delicious is slightly better, but it's also like a non-thing.
Disgusting.
It's like a nothing. Yeah. They have a cute shape. That's what I'll say.
This apple
yeah,
literally tastes like what an apple in your mind tastes like.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. And it looks like it too.
This is the best thing I've ever had. I'm so glad I have it right here. I just wanted to show it to you because I picked. And here's a different varietal.
Oh, that looks like that's a Macintosh, I think, maybe, or a McCowan.
No idea.
I think so.
Here's what I was going to say is that those kids didn't give a fuck about picking apples. They cared about making TikToks.
Yeah,
and they could have done it. And they could have done it at
the flower farm.
Same. They could have done it at the fucking flower farm. Damn it! But instead, now I have 3 bags of apples.
Are you going to make it through them?
Well, my neighbor here at Casa Kismet, they just had a baby.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about making them an apple pie or like a tart.
Oh, nice.
This
or like,
one's cute.
like an apple crisp. That's super easy and
An
they
apple
can freeze
crisp.
it.
Yeah. I was thinking about making them something with the apples and bringing it over for the little baby.
That's
nice. Not for the baby, for them.
Yeah. Although if the baby wants it, more power to the baby.
Sure, people do that now. They just let their babies start fucking eating whenever they want to eat. Like, it's crazy. I don't even know. I mean, when I had my baby, it was like you did this, and then you introduced this, and then you did that. People are literally like, give the baby a fucking chicken bone and like go to town.
Oh my God.
Okay. What is it called? It's called baby-led eating?
Baby-led eating, or also for adults, they call it intuitive eating. I had a friend in college that, I hope he doesn't mind if I tell this story. I won't name him.
You're not saying his name.
But he always used to tell a story about how the doctor told his mom to start feeding him like solid food at 6 months or something. And she's read it wrong and thought it said 6 weeks. So she was just like giving him like meat and other foods. I'm not saying this is has anything to do with the other, but that guy's colon basically exploded like when we were in our early 20s, and he had to get like a new colon made out of other parts of him. And he's great now. He's super healthy. But I'm sure glad I didn't misread the note from my doctor telling me that I should feed my kids meat at 6 weeks, because I probably would have done the same exact thing.
Well, fingers crossed my colon's not going to explode. You know what I mean?
I hope not. I do
too. I hope not too. So anyway, I was like a lot Sunday. And then Sunday night, I had to do Thrilling Adventure Hour.
Right. Which is our friends. If you don't know, if you've never heard of it, Thrilling Adventure Hour is like a show with all these performers, and it's like an old-timey radio show that's very, very funny, and tons of our friends are on it, and our friends also make it. Our friends Ben and Ben are the creators and writers and producers, and it's really funny. You should check it out.
Yeah, I'm in the like main cast.
Yeah,
I have been for over a decade.
That's how you and I know each other, really.
Truly. Well, we met first because, okay, that's what you think. Like, to me, I know you because of Paul F. Tompkins and
yes,
and that you worked at
Best
Watch
Week
What
Ever
Happened.
Best Weekend.
No, I knew that.
And then you were on Watch What Happens.
Yes.
You were also a guest on another show that I worked at briefly, but we didn't.
What show?
Oh my God. I don't even know, but I feel like does this help you remember? I feel like you made over like a dresser, like a thrifted dresser on the show. Does this sound familiar at all?
No, I don't think I did that.
It was maybe the show Life and Style, hosted
I don't think
by
I made
like,
over. I don't think I made over a dresser. I would have been doing it. For a while, people were making me do like baking shit.
I know baking, but I feel like somehow baking translated into like repainting a dresser or something. It was a show with Kimora Lee Simmons and Jules Asner.
I'm going to tell you one thing.
What?
I never did that.
I really feel like it was you.
No, but it really wasn't, because these things are the things that I have the best memory for.
It's true. You would
So,
remember if you did.
I would for sure. Like, I remember doing like a baking thing for some weird thing, but I don't think it was, what was that called?
Life and Style?
It might have been Life and Style. It was like these hedgehog cupcakes, like where you make it like look like grass and then you put like little hedgehogs on them, I think.
Who knows?
I remember that. Like, I remember doing that at one point. I did like some like weird baking demos for a minute. People were like asking me to do that because of the cakes.
Because you were always making like fun cakes for your kids' birthdays.
Well, so anyway, back
Thrilling
to
Adventure, you did.
And it was like started at 9 p.m. because everybody's on the West Coast.
Right.
And they were recording it for their podcast or for the Thrilling Adventure podcast. It's a new episode that'll be out soon. I don't know when. This week? Maybe. I don't know.
Sometime.
And then Monday comes very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the day of the ACLU thing. And I got a facial in the morning.
Great.
Which is amazing. And I decided to wear this really fun dress that Stacy Smallwood from Hampton Clothing sent me.
Not Stacey Hampton, Stacey Smallwood.
Not Stacy Hampton. Although she is in my phone still as Stacy Hampton.
Right.
But the shoes didn't make it to me in time. So then after my facial, I met up with Jen and we got a pair of shoes for me.
Yeah.
And then I raced back downtown, had to shower real fast because I had also agreed to volunteer at my kid's school that day.
Oh, God.
Come on. And as I was and Blake was waiting in the car, like I met Blake at the house and I was like, I'm going to shower really fast, eat this chicken soup, get in the car. You're going to drop me off at the school so I can volunteer. Got a call from one of our favorite babysitters who's a graduate student who's like the best. And she was fully like attacked on the street.
Oh, God.
I know. She's okay. And she was like shoved to the ground and was like shaken up and like kind of a little hurt, but like okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, stay there. Blake is going to come get you with my car. And so I sent Blake to do that. So then I like hoofed it to the school.
Oh my gosh.
To volunteer.
Yeah.
Because I have to show up, you know, like I've committed to this. And I show up and I'm like just pouring sweat. Because, you know, I've like jogged there.
Poison
and I'm
tuna
like,
sweat, probably.
Poison tuna coming out of my veins. And I'm like, you know, late. But it's whatever. There was a window of time to volunteer.
Life or
it's
death.
fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. It's just like, anyway, okay. Do the volunteering thing. Then get Cricket. Hand her off to the traumatized babysitter.
Oh, God.
Who's doing okay. She's better.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and she also was with Gina. And I have to say, because Gina's a very calming spirit.
Yeah.
And so is Cricket, to be honest.
Yeah.
So anyway, I felt like that was okay because then I had to immediately jump in a car and go to the rehearsal for the ACLU thing. And then I was just there. I was at the theater for the rest of the night. The show went over an hour long. So I didn't like get out of there until like 10:45-ish.
Okay.
And wait, but like I'm getting ahead of myself. So oh my God. I don't even know where to go from here. Anyway,
How did you almost die?
No, let's get back to I want to get back into the ACLU thing first because it was just crazy. So Sarah and I like had to run through the thing, and Eric, who was producing it, who's like a Broadway guy, and he's amazing. Like, I think that the show was just like got way bigger than he had initially the scope of what the show was. Like, I just mean there were like so many incredible. Kyle Freeman from A Strange Loop performed that song, like White Girls Can Do Anything. Or, you know? Which was like tears. Oh, I mean, so many incredible. Like, Shoshana Bean performed. Patti Smith fucking performed.
Amazing.
Which was incredible. And, you know, I got to present her with her fucking Lifetime Achievement Award in activism. And I like literally was like in tears. Like, it was just the fucking most special, coolest moment. And so, but it was also like, just because of the setup and the stage, and like we had never run it, and Sarah Jones does all of these characters, and we have the teleprompter. I had assumed they were going to do like a big teleprompter in the back, like, and they had the ones that are like the little shields,
very close, like
that the presidents use, which I used to think when I was a kid was bulletproof glass to protect them.
It should be,
but that's what I thought it was when I was little. I don't know if like somehow Ronald Reagan being shot like combine in my brain somehow.
Right.
And I just assumed that anytime I saw somebody speaking with those shields, teleprompters, I thought it was bulletproof glass, like to protect them.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, the person would still have a lot of places to shoot, like
totally.
Besides that 6x8 glass.
But I was also a child, so let's just appreciate that.
Yes.
Magical thinking always with her. So okay. Anyway, so it was just like it was a lot and like complicated, and you want to do a good job, and it's like a big deal. And Sarah and I were like just trying to like make it work, and Eric was trying to make it work, and there were some things that like turned out in the script that weren't exactly factually correct about the work that the ACL. Well, just that it was, you know, they were writing this. The script writers were writing the scripts based on information that they sort of that they had, but like things change, and that's just the way. This is the nature of the thing. Yeah. So, you know, we were like making edits at the last minute and trying to like fix the prompters and doing all this stuff. And then I was trying to get my hair and makeup done and getting my outfit on. And like, I got a coffee and I ate, you know, a muffin.
What kind of muffin?
It was like a pumpkin-y vibe.
Okay. All right. That's what we give our dogs when their stomach doesn't feel good. Pumpkin.
Yeah. I thought pumpkin was a good call for me.
That's a good call. Yeah.
So like that, you know, it was all happening. They were like, you got to go take pictures. So we went and took pictures, and then came back, and then like we're standing backstage and like getting ready for the show to start. And my friend Jess White, who's the ACLU person who I've always worked with, she's like the celebrity and famous person outreach person who like gets people involved, you know. But like when Ike Barinholtz and I went to Ohio before the last election, she was the one that like we went with. Like, she does, you know, she puts together like programs in different places. Whatever. She's amazing. So she's like, I'm with Padma because Padma was being honored.
Oh, nice. Love
and
Padma.
So and like it was at Town Hall, this theater that I've done Thrilling Adventure Hour at before.
Yeah, I've been to a wedding there. As some rock and roll shows.
But the backstage of Town Hall is very like fucking confusing and weird, and there's just like this like big long area downstairs. It was just like it was a lot, and there were so many performers and so many. I mean, it's like the cast of 1776 sang, and like literally, I don't know. It was just wild, and so I was trying to find Jess and then like I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks walk in, walk up Rita's like, hi. Tom's like, Biz, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm fucking hosting this. What are you doing? And I don't know how it like all had come to fruition, but Tom presented Padma with her honor, which was so amazing.
Love it.
But it was so funny because we're like crammed backstage in this weird way, like right before the show is about to start. I'm like all made up, and I had the most insane fucking out of body flashback to being 18 years old in New York at the New York Toy Fair, dressed as a Barbie.
Right.
And the people running in and being like, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are here to see you. And I was like, oh my God, what? And because like, I obviously, is the story in my book? Is this in my book?
About
Tom and Rita coming to see me at the Toy Fair?
That's a good question. I mostly remember Sharon Stone at the Toy Fair.
Right. Well, that was before. That wasn't the New York Toy Fair. That was in Phoenix, where she anointed me. But so I did the Toy Fair in New York after Colin and I were dating. I was in college. I wasn't on Freaks and Geeks yet. It was my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
And Tom and Rita were in New York for the holidays. I don't know why they were in New York. Why am I making this up? They were in New York for something.
Right.
And they Colin called me and he's like, my pops and Rita want to come by and see you at your thing. And I was like, that's insane. Okay. I don't know. And I remember being like, I don't know how they would even do that. And then they just were there. Cause
of course.
They knew how to figure it out because they're adults and people, they
had people that, I'm sure an assistant made a call.
Sure. So maybe I didn't tell this story in my book. Colin and I were dating. I had met Tom and Rita and had hung out with their family a bunch. We had been dating for, maybe it was actually February or March. So Colin and I had been dating longer, because we started dating right when we met, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I had stayed with them over Christmas break. That's right. So I had stayed with them for a few days over Christmas break. So I had spent a good amount of time with them and their family. And, but it was the first time that I had ever been in public, with someone famous, just truly. I had never, and it was really even though obviously there was so much of it that was weird for me as an 18-year-old, what? Your dad is what? Huh?
Yeah.
And then meeting him, he and Rita just made it so they were so comfortable and they're just fucking parents. You know what I mean?
They're regular people.
Yes.
Except they're Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson.
Except that then when I was at this Toy Fair thing doing my job and then they showed up and then all of a sudden I felt that thing. And by the way, this is again, so it's probably spring 98. This is 1998. This is the most famous.
Yeah, he's at the height
version of a thing that you could be. And the crush of people that were just they were just why are they, what's happening? And just trying to get in and trying to take pictures. And there were all this stuff. And I remember, I've always said my sweating is not hormonal. I remember I started sweating so fucking hard. I couldn't control my sweat. It was pouring down my face because I was just I've never experienced anything like this.
Right.
It was so overwhelming. I felt really how did they do this on a daily basis? And by the way, for all of the wherever my life has taken me, and it's been lovely, I have never in my life experienced just on a casual Thursday evening, in the lobby of a building, visiting, being all of a sudden the word getting out and then just hundreds of people showing up to see you.
Right.
It was, that's what it felt like to me. It was probably 50. I don't know, actually. I was 18.
That was the height of Tom Hanks.
It was
ascension to like being an icon, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I remember Rita trying to just like, I remember like this vibe that I was getting, like where she was like, just look at me. Like you're going to be, it's okay. Just talk to me. Just pretend like it's not happening. Just look at me.
Yeah.
You know, this is back when I was a kid. So all of a sudden, like, they're there. I still am friends with them, obviously, because you guys know I'm like super tight with Colin and Sam, and like our families are really good friends. And so I've seen Rita and Tom over the years, family events, and you know, a ton of different things. And Rita was on our show, and
Rita was on Busy Tonight. We saw her at a play in Pasadena, and she was so nice.
We hung out. Like,
and she's the best because then I saw her at the Oprah thing, and she remembered meeting me with you at the play and being on Busy Tonight, and she hugged me, and then she had COVID a few days later in Greece.
But you didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
Not Greece. In
wasn't she in Greece?
No,
when
they
she
were
was
in
diagnosed?
Australia.
Oh, Australia. You're
remember?
right. Yeah. So anyway, that's how magical she is she possibly had COVID and she didn't give it to anyone.
Sakara Life. It's always the same for Sakara, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
I feel like I've been doing the same one for years now.
I feel like it's legit. I feel like that is their jingle now.
I mean, it probably is, right? Listen. Feeling your best starts with what you put in your body. I know that. You know that. And Sakara helps you not to just live a healthy, balanced lifestyle, but really you get to enjoy it because the meals are very delicious. They're plant-rich, and they have functional wellness essentials that build the foundation for radiant health. Listen, now is the time. You get to seek pleasure and abundance in all areas of your life, including what you eat. Snacks, supplements, nutrient-dense meals. All of their meals are chef-crafted, but using plant-based, plant-rich ingredients. Sakara is a wellness company, and they are very anchored in the belief that food is medicine. They are on a mission to nourish your body through the power of plants, which we love. We love to see it.
Experts are telling us all the time that
always, literally,
plant-rich and plant-based diets are the way to live.
Yes,
and it's the future.
And I'm not saying you got to give up all the meat. You know, I'm not. But like, I love a Sakara in my life. I love having the plant-based ingredients boost my energy, make my skin look good, help my digestion get better, curb my sugar cravings. It's like, honestly, all delivered right to your door. It couldn't get easier if you tried. Also, you don't have to take our word for it because Sakara has received rave reviews from Vogue, Goop, the New York Times, and many more. And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/busy or enter code busy at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/busy to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/busy. Base bags. Everybody says it's about the journey, not the destination. Base. I don't know. That one I went off on a tangent, but you guys have heard us talk about our beautiful luggage. Maybe some of you are thinking that you're going to start traveling up here coming in the next few months because the holidays are upon us.
Yeah.
And maybe you want to look chic.
Yeah.
And maybe
you want to be able to bring all your stuff that you want to bring.
Fit it all.
While also looking chic.
Guess what? Base is for you. Base, it's spelled BEIS. Base was created by actress Shay Mitchell to make sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories that are all designed to help you travel effortlessly while still looking fashionable. You know who knows how to do that? An actress. That's what I am saying to you.
Better than anyone.
Better than anyone. This is like so frequently when I'm like, oh, an actress is putting out some product, right? I'm like, yeah. I don't get it. This, not only do I get, I am like, tip of the hat to you, Shay Mitchell. You
Shay
really
Mitchell thought of
nailed
everything.
It.
Yes.
There's 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, built-in weight indicator. You know I need that.
Yes.
There are washable bags for your dirty clothes and all of the interior pockets you need to help keep you organized as you travel. The luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. And you know, I'm obsessed with the Weekender bag. It is super functional, and it even has a place to store your shoes separately, which I very much appreciate because I am a person that understands how disgusting the streets are.
Yes.
And that your shoes should not be just mingling with your clothing.
Yeah. And this isn't part of Shay Mitchell's pitch for base bags, but I just want to point out that the Weekender bag also has a trolley sleeve that goes over extending handle.
It's a perfect bag. It is
for
a
the
perfect
rolly
bag.
And the handle of the rolly bag is enough to support the weight of the Weekender bag on it when you're rolling it.
Tipping over.
Nothing's tipping over and nothing's bending or getting messed up.
You got to get into this luggage. I'm not even kidding.
It's so good.
You have to. You have to.
And again, makes an incredible gift for someone that, you know, is maybe just graduating from school or like.
Luggage. I love luggage as a gift.
Because it says you should go places in your life.
And it says you're going
and you're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/best. So go to BEISTRAVEL.com/best for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEISTRAVEL.com/best. So anyway, back to last night. Just because I'm like trying to set the stage for you. Oh, by the way, so Sarah and I are like running through all the things. And then Eric, the producer, at the last second is like, and by the way, you are giving Patty Smith her award.
So you are just informed.
I was like thrown into it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I was just like, what? Okay, so then Tom and Rita, and then it was so weird. Like I literally felt like the same fucking thing happened. All of a sudden there was like a photographer there taking pictures of us. And then there was like all of these people that were kind of like standing to the sides, waiting to say hi. And then no fucking joke, I start flop sweating again.
Oh, God.
I don't even know what to say to you. I just was like, I had a literal out of body experience and I went back to being 18 years old in New York. And in New York, I'm literally blocks away from where I was. And this same fucking thing is happening. It was deja vu. Tom's like, we got to take a picture to send to the kids. We got to take a picture. And I was like, like, it was just so crazy. And then I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm just like fucking sweating all over the place. Like I can't.
Tom and Rita go back to their seats and they're like, you know what? Thank God Colin didn't marry her because we would have the slipperiest grandchildren.
So sweaty all the time. Like, and like, you know, do you know what Padma is? Padma is like, when I say I don't know if the woman has ever broken a sweat, I mean it in like the best way possible. She's
so chill and like, and like radiant in person.
Yes.
And like, also it's annoying because she's also pretty funny and she's like the smartest.
And self-deprecating and like rad and just like
sorry
all
to
of
say
the
it's
things.
annoying, but like she's pretty perfect.
It's not. It's just that like, you know, you get used to hearing like, well, God doesn't give with both hands. But then if you're Padma Lakshmi, that it, you know, God actually did. You know what I mean? Like, and so like we can all be like, well, you know, God for ourselves, God doesn't give with both hands, but then
it's
you
like, see her and you're like,
then you're Padma. Yeah. And also I met her kid who is amazing. And like, I have to introduce her and Birdie because I think they're going to be like BFFs, even though, I mean, she reminded me of Birdie because she's 12, but she seemed like she was like 20.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like just in the conversations we were having.
Yeah,
and she was just amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so flop sweating, having a flashback, like out of body experience. And Sarah and I go, and then it's like showtime. Yeah. And Sarah's like, let me just fan you for a second. I'm like, okay, thanks, Sarah. By the way, I had said to Tom, I was like, this is Sarah Jones. I'm co-hosting with her. And like, they didn't know exactly who she was. And I'm like, guys, she's a fucking genius. Just FYI, you know, like just so you know, she's a genius. Yeah. And so we go out on stage and we did the opening where we had written in Sarah had brought, like the opening was like, I'm me. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're going to burn it to the fucking ground. And like, I'm pissed. Who else here is pissed? We're raging, we're raging.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Sarah, I know you're pissed. And she's like, I am. And actually I brought along some people with me that are pissed. And then she like we went into her characters,
Yeah.
And guys, you really have to watch Sell by Date because it's fucking insane, these characters that Sarah inhabits.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got off stage from the thing and Tom was like, well, what the fuck was that to her? He's like,
gosh.
what? You didn't tell me that this was going to happen. He's like, you're incredible. I'm like, yeah, dude, this is what I was trying to say to you. Anyway, then I had to go, then I went and gave Patti Smith. I presented Patti Smith in this like speech that we had to like cram, together an hour and a half before.
Oh my gosh.
And I had met her backstage and I was so like, and then go give this speech to this fucking, like, it's so an actual living, breathing icon.
Yes. Incredible.
It was incredible. And then she sang and that was incredible. And then I needed to like take a seat. I was having a moment. Oh, but then Kyle Freeman sang and I had to see that.
Yeah.
And then Tom introduced Padma and then those guys left and I was like, okay, I can stop sweating now. But I didn't stop sweating, turns out, because I, as we know, am a sweater.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 8:30 p.m. at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just telling you my day. Like it's 8:30 p.m. The show ends up going like way over because, well, honestly, there's a lot of information. People love to talk. The show was packed with performances and like it just ended up going super long,
Yeah. Sure.
But I wasn't obviously not drinking nor being stoned or anything because I had this job to do and I
Sure.
definitely feel like after that last thing I did, that I like did such a better job. I was like so happy I was sobes, for it.
Yeah.
But then like right towards the end, so Shauna Bean and her friend and Sarah Jones and her friend and Jess Whites from the ACLU and I all had a glass, like not a glass, a like clear plastic cup, like mini cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had like half a mini cup each from a bottle of wine. Like we all just had like a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm saying all of this because I need you to know that I was sober.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like a cup of wine, a little cup of wine. But this was like, that was like at 9:30 p.m. Okay?
Yeah.
So the show finally ends at 10:30. Natalie Morales was there.
Oh, great.
Because Alex Edelman did a like stand-up set.
Oh, great.
And so I guess she was there to see him. And so then they were going to get food and they're like, come. And I'm like, I'm not going to. I'm tired. I'm going to go home. This has been a journey. I've had a journey today. I'm going to go home. So then I was on my way home and I'm like, should I just go to Casa Kismet? Wait, this is like important part of this. I'm like, should I just go to Casa Kismet? Because we're doing the podcast today. And should I just sleep here? I like this mattress better than the one that I have at the kids' house.
Yeah.
Which I got to figure that situation out for myself because that's not cool. But like, should I just go to Kismet? But then I texted Mark because the whole reason why the babysitter had to have the handoff with Cricket anyway yesterday was because Mark had picked up Birdie at school at 2:30 and taken them to see Taylor Swift be a guest on The Tonight Show.
Oh, cool.
Because, Nancy Javonen and Mark have worked together for many years.
Yeah.
So
That's
they got
Jimmy Fallon's wife.
Jimmy Fallon's wife, guys.
Yeah.
produced Never Been Kissed, and he's just not that into you, and used to be Drew's producing partner.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh my God. Well, they know who Drew is, right?
I'm just filling in the details.
Okay, sure. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm talking fast. But there's a lot to get through, and it's already been an hour, and I'm just still telling this fucking story. Okay. Of how I fucking almost died. So anyway, I texted Mark when I got into my car, loaded my shit up, got into the car. I'm wearing, by the way, I changed out of the big heels that I had on for the show, and I put my boots back on because it's like that kind of rain that's like, I guess some people say pissing.
Pissing rain? Okay, what kind of boots? Like rain boots?
Yeah, they're like Chelsea. No, they're not rain boots. They're like Chelsea boots.
Okay.
Big treads. Treads.
Yeah.
They've got
Gotcha.
treads on them.
Okay.
You know me. I don't fuck around with a rain boot anyway. They're too narrow. So anyway, so I have my boots on. I'm just saying. I need to set the stage.
Yeah.
And I text Mark and I'm like, I'm thinking of going to stay at Casa Kismet unless Birdie's waiting up for me to tell me about Taylor. And he's like, let me check. The Birdie's waiting up for you. I'm like, fuck. Okay. I'm on my way. So go to the kid's house. Also, like Gina was there. And she gets sad if I don't stay with her.
Yeah.
So even if I was going to go to Casa Kismet, like I would need to grab jeans. And I had all this shit with me. So I was like, I'll just dump it at the house, whatever. So I get to the house. Oh, and Birdie was like starting to feel like she had a sinus infection, which I think she does. Because she had a little fever this morning and then snotted out some real gross green stuff. So I get to the house. I put all of my bags. I'm like, so many bags inside. And Gina's like, needs to go out, right?
Right.
Okay. And by the way, just if you saw my stories of me in the car on the way home, I look like a fucking mess. Like I look literally like a mess already. I already look like a mess.
Yeah.
So I had really dark eye makeup on. I kind of tried to take it off at the theater, but it didn't really work.
The rain didn't help.
The rain didn't help.
Sweating.
My hair looked insane. I was pouring sweat always. I looked a little crazy. Anyway, I go into the house, throw my shit down. Gina's like very clearly wants to go out. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Instead of going down into the back, I'll just take her down front to pee.
Right.
The kid's house has a tradish New York stoop situation.
Right.
But I will say it's very steep.
Yeah.
And I will say that the stairs of that particular stoop, like you'll find there are variances in stoops, and the stairs on the stoops at the kids' house are kind of narrow-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. Throw the stuff down. In my ears is still playing Phoebe Bridgers' I Know the End, because that song is very long.
Yeah.
But literally that's what's playing in my AirPods. Click her leash on. The door hasn't even like closed, basically. I like put my stuff down. Okay. Click the leash on. Have the keys. Turn around to go out this door to down the stairs. Your girl is sober.
Yeah.
It is raining. Gina's like kind of in front of me. She's already going. She's like ready to go. And then I fell from the door of my house down, like head over heels. Like, have you seen that meme at the Met Gala of the guy falling? That's not real. That's not real, right? That's like a fake thing. It's like photoshopped.
I don't know.
That is literally in my head what was happening. I was flying at some. I don't know what happened with Gina and the leash. Like, I don't know where in space and time she went, but she was fine. When I landed on the sidewalk,
Ugh.
I was like looking up at the trees and I was like, how am I not dead?
Oh my God.
I actually thought as I was falling, this is such a fucking bummer. I swear to God, it was so fast, but in the time that I was falling, I literally had the like whole thing. And it wasn't like my life flashing before my eyes. It was just like, ugh, this sucks.
Not this.
I literally was like, I can't believe that it's going to be like she hosted this thing. And then fucking, no one knows what happened. Like it would be confusing because I had come home. Right. Why did I go back out? What was going on?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I had
time slows down. That's what flashed.
I had so many thoughts, but
your
also,
entire obituary flashed before your eyes.
I swear to God, when I tell you that I fell with the grace of like 1,000 angels carrying me gently to just the bottom of the steps.
Wow.
I have one scratch on me on the meaty part of my calf.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
I didn't hit my head. And that was the other thing when I was like, is my neck broken? Did I hit my head?
Did I break my skull?
I didn't hit my head. I did not hit my fucking head. I don't know how. When I tell you I somersaulted down the fucking stairs.
Oh my gosh.
I was wearing a thick wool coat. Also probably why I was sweating so much.
Right. But might have protected you.
I think it did protect me. So then I'm literally like on the ground.
Oh my God.
And I look over and Gina's like standing there, freaked the fuck out.
Were you still holding her leash?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I was.
Okay. I'm glad she stood there.
But you guys, of all the times my fucking AirPods have popped out of my head, those bitches stayed in playing Phoebe Bridgers screaming.
Oh my God.
I know the end. Like, well, it was actually the crescendo right before the scream.
Right.
But like, so then I was like, I immediately like stood up to just like to assess the situation and to see if I was hurt. Because I also have had the experience, I've been injured before where like you think you're fine and then you're oh, you're not fine.
You're not. Yeah.
Right. And so I was just like assessing, like I immediately got up. I had my phone and I texted Mark because I knew he was there because I was, whatever. And I was like, Mark, I just fell down the entire front stoop.
Oh, God.
And he was like, what? And I was like, no, I need you to come here now. Like,
why? What? Just come outside.
And honestly, and now we all understand why I'm getting divorced. Mark, I'm kidding.
That is what I feel like anyone would do if you texted them that. But also, I feel like anyone who fell down would be like, why, what?
No, he didn't write that. He didn't write that. Hold on. I said, I just fell down the front steps. And then he wrote, are you okay? And then he wrote, outside, ? And then it says, Marcy. I guess I was like, I was like, it says Marcy. It says Marcy, don't know. Oh, Mark, I don't know. Oh, now I get it. Mark, I don't know. Yes, all of them. Are you inside? Oh my God, calm down. Please. Mark, please. Okay. 11. You guys,
in his defense, you were typing full texts.
You guys,
so
I want to say something to you now that I'm looking at the timestamps. I just want to say something to you. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Do you know what time I fell down the steps?
What?
11:11.
Angel number, those angels.
No, I'm not kidding you. I literally fell down the steps at 11:11. What the fuck?
You've been thinking it's lucky all this time. Well, it is lucky. I
Well,
mean,
it
right?
was. I didn't fucking die.
You didn't die. You didn't die. Oh my God.
Okay, but so then I was like standing, I like had made it up the steps and I was standing there texting and I was like, all of a sudden the adrenaline like hit me.
Yes.
And I was like shaking. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, I was just shaking. Like,
Well, it's like the shaking zebra that Jessica St. Clair told us about, like how zebras shake to get rid of their like nervous energy. And we don't have that to get rid of our stress, but you do.
Well, you do, I guess, when it's that bad.
Yeah,
It's
when
like
it's that
adrenaline.
bad. Yeah.
So like had all this adrenaline and I was uncontrollably shaking, which was like weirdly freaking me out more than anything.
Right.
And then I just kept like saying over and over again, I was just talking about this. I was just talking about this tonight. Like, did I do this? I was just talking about this. And what I had been talking about when I was getting my hair and makeup done was about a friend of mine who'd fallen down the front steps of my old house.
Oh my God.
And had gotten a concussion.
Ugh.
And it was terrible. It was like not great.
Ugh. I fell down the front steps of your old house too one time. Like the last few on a rainy night.
Okay, let me tell you something. I also fell down those steps.
Yeah, but not like there was a lot of stairs.
No, I fell down when I would fall down. I mean, like, I have never, I'm just going to say this. And you guys know she falls.
Yeah.
I have never fallen down steps this way before. Where
Right.
I was like literally upside down, somersaulting,
Right.
flying. I've
Right.
fallen where I like fall back on my butt.
Yeah.
And like fall down some stairs.
Yes.
I've fallen where I've like grabbed onto a rail
Right,
and like
right.
saved it at the
Yeah.
last second.
You've never
I've
like
slipped down.
free fallen down
I was
stairs.
Tom Petty in the song. I was somersaulting, free falling. I do think that I like my shoulder, I think, but this is why I'm saying I was wearing that really thick coat. Like I think I like rolled on my shoulder and like my lower hip on my shoulder on my right side and my lower hip on my left side. But so anyway, Mark was like, just come in, just sit down. Like he's like, take your coat off. I'm like uncontrollably shaking. He's like, I'm getting you water. He just was like, wanted to make sure that I didn't hit my head.
Yeah.
He was asking me weird questions. Like he didn't, like, I don't understand what happened. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, let's just.
I bet he was like, what country are we in? What's the date?
No, he weirdly didn't ask me that. But
Oh, okay.
he just was like, I mean, I don't know, but I was just like, I was just talking about this and whatever. And then, yeah, he kind of like calmed me down and then was like, okay. Like, you know, like, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And he walked me up the steps to like where no, that's not true. When did Birdie show up? I think I went down to the kitchen, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
I like am confused. Clearly.
Yeah.
But I was like definitely like kind of in shock and had a lot of adrenaline and stuff. But at some point either Birdie came. No, I think Birdie came into my bathroom. I think Mark like walked behind me up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then I was in the bathroom like taking my makeup. Oh, because I was sobbing I started crying.
Yeah.
And I was like sobbing so hard. And then I did take a picture because it looked so crazy.
Like you looked like you were in a scene.
No one would have ever done this to make up to someone. I'll send it to you. It's fucking nuts. So
you look like the prom queen in the Courtney Love video.
No, this is what I'm saying
Worse.
to you. Because I had been like my hands on my face sobbing,
Yeah.
I spread my eye makeup all over my for my face, like all over my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sending it to you right now just so you can see it. I'm just like trying to see. And you can see I have like snot. You can like zero. I have like snot all over my face.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was.
Yeah. I look.
Yeah. You look like a Mad Max extra.
It's bizarre. It's not. So anyway, so then I was like, I hung out with Birdie for a little bit wildly. And Birdie like showed me some vids and we talked about like the Taylor Swift thing and whatever. And then Birdie was like, okay, I'm going to bed and left me. And then I was just like, I couldn't sleep because I was like, felt so weird.
Yeah.
Maybe from the adrenaline still.
Well, you're probably like wired from the performance and then like just had an overload after like the adrenaline of falling.
I didn't feel wired from the performance. I felt like I was very tired. I was tired.
Yeah.
Like it had been a whole fucking day, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And so then I did some Instagram stories explaining what had happened.
Yeah.
But I think people were like, what? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm like, I know. Also, what doesn't make sense, and when I'm telling you what does not make sense is how I did not fucking kill myself.
Oh my God.
Or die. I'm sending you a picture of the stairs, okay? Just so you can see. I just need you to see the steepness.
Well, listen, I want to say that I am sorry. I feel like a bad friend right now because if I had seen your stories, I 100% would have texted to see if you were okay.
Well, here are the people that did. No, I'm kidding. Although I did get a lot of texts this morning that were like, holy fuck, what?
Sure. But
the truth is, like, I was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's what I'll say. Now, we've both recently had pretty bad falls. Yours was worse, I'm going to admit. Although I did fall like from a couple feet up onto like a granite sidewalk. But now we've both had pretty bad falls where we weren't injured at all. And we both just got one little scratch. I chipped a nail and you scratched your calf. But now I think we have to really start taking this shit seriously and try not to fall anymore because we can't guarantee we'll be so lucky next time.
No. You know what? I want to make a new Little Words Project bracelet.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I want to make like an ungovernable temper one.
Oh, that would be so perfect. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, you need that.
I just love it so much. Guys, if you don't know what Little Words Project is, it's the original word bracelet brand founded on the belief of being kind to yourself and others. Little Words bracelets are made to be worn and loved and one day passed on to someone who needs that word of encouragement more than you do. The best part, each bracelet has a unique code on the tag that you can register on their website so you can like track down where your bracelet goes as it inspires from wrist to wrist. I love it.
I love that. It's like Flat Stanley for grown-ups.
I also just like something that we can like all just like get involved in.
Yeah.
It's like a community building exercise. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
And I think that the regular and the custom bracelets make amazing gifts for everyone on your list this holiday season. And it's a honestly amazing price. So I'm very into it and they're so cute.
They're so cute. And by the way, if you're traveling for the holidays, it's perfect because they're not large. You can stash a whole bunch of them in your bag for everyone that you love.
Want to empower yourself and spread kindness to others with the original word bracelet? Well, guess what? You're in luck. We have a special offer for our listeners. Go to littlewordsproject.com/busy or enter busy at the checkout for 30% off your first order. It's the best offer you're going to get. Limited time only. Get on it. That's littlewordsproject.com/busy for 30% off your first order. You can also find Little Words Project at Target, Nordstrom, or one of their flagship stores. I've been to the one in New York. I love it. Thanks, Little Words Project. Helix Sleep. I love it. I love it. You know why I love it? I love it because it's real.
Helix is such an early supporter of this podcast.
Yeah.
And
It's a real one. Helix is a real one.
Helix is a real one. And I have to say that, like, it's been a couple years now, and my Helix mattress is still going strong, like it's brand new.
I have something embarrassing to admit.
What?
I only have one Helix mattress because the one that I got, back then, back when they started advertising. And so in this episode, when I'm saying like I like the mattress at Casa Kismet better,
Yeah.
that's my Helix mattress.
That's the one. Yeah.
And Helix, I know, bless. But the truth is, trying to save some money, I just took the mattress from storage.
Right.
Because I had mattresses, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so
Yeah.
I have this mattress from storage that I'm like, we're going to need to upgrade that to a Helix. And honestly, that's okay because guess what? It is affordable. I love my Helix. It's at Casa Kismet. Then when we moved into the new house, I was like, I'll make do. It'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? Guess what? I hate
now
it.
you know. Now
I hate
you know.
it. I only like this mattress. And I think I'll just order a new Helix mattress with our code. Can I just do that?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I think you can do that. And it's a good test.
That's why I'm saying like it's a real one.
Yeah.
Because
You
that
put it
was the
to
mattress
test.
I had before.
And now you know.
Yes.
Wherever there's Helix, that's home.
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, I'm a real Don Draper.
You really are, man. Guys, everyone is unique. Helix knows that. They have several different mattress models to choose from. They've got soft, medium, and firm. FYI, I'm firm. They have mattresses that are great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. And there's a Helix Plus mattress for plus-sized folks. Anyway,
It's for everyone.
It's
they
for
have
everyone.
something for everyone.
for everyone. If you're looking for a mattress, you take their quiz, you order the mattress that you're matched to. The mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever even need to go to a mattress store again. Not that you would ever want to.
Yeah.
Listen, Helix is awesome. You don't have to take our word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. Here's what you need to do. It's time. Busy, it's time. Go to helixsleep.com/best. Take the 2-minute sleep quiz. They'll match you to a customized mattress that's going to give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. And they're even going to pick it up for you if you don't love it. But guess what? You will. So Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. I love it. At helixsleep.com/best. Guys, I can't tell you enough how much we love our Helix mattresses. It's a real one.
And the new pillows.
And the pillows.
It's
And the
time.
pillows. Guys, go get some sleep. Marcella Kroll, who we love,
Yes.
who does readings and
Yeah.
she's what does she say? It's not like a psychic.
She's an artist, an oracle, and she's autistic.
I love her.
Yeah.
She watched my stories like immediately.
Yeah.
She was up, West Coast. And she was like, you have to, before you go to bed, like just call back all of your energies that you've put all of these other places. Like you give out your energy so freely to so many people and in so many ways. Like just before you go to bed, call back all of your energy and like just say that you need it actually.
Oh,
and that
wow.
like you need to be present and grounded in your own self. And I will say, I did it, obviously. I mean, you're going to do what
Marcella
witch is,
tells
what
you.
a, what a witch is telling you got to do, obviously. I will say, like, I do think there's something to that, Caissie. And I think there's something to that for you, too. Like, I think that when our energies get kind of split
Yeah.
and put so many different places. And I think if you're the type of person that it's not just about putting energy out, it's also about the energy that people put towards you.
Yes.
because people put a lot of energy toward both of us in varying ways.
Yes.
And I certainly feel that we've talked about it. Like that we talked about it with Nora last week a little bit,
Yeah.
you know? Like it can be whether or not you're a fucking person that believes in energy, like I actually don't care. I do. And
Yeah.
I feel it, you know? And like I do feel sometimes that I kind of, if I'm not taking the time and paying attention and like regrounding myself, then it's like I could just float the fuck away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
like, because I'm not in my own body, really. Like I'm someone else's, you know, there's so many other things that are like pulling attention energetically.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it prevents me from being just like grounded in where I am and who I am and being able to like actually like literally move through the world with ease and not chaos and tumbles.
Yes. I always think of it like this really common thing, which is that I'm always trying to gather up so many things in my arms because I'm lazy. And so if I'm going to gather things and move things, I want to get it done and do it all at once and be as efficient as I can. But there really is, like, I can only carry 3 things. Like, I can have one thing in the crook of each arm. I can have one thing in one hand and then, like, maybe one hand free to, like, open a doorknob or whatever. But if I put something in that second hand, it's always a given that I'm gonna drop something. And it's only a matter of what it is I drop. It will happen every time. Like, it's like neurological with me. I cannot carry more than 3 things in my arms at one time.
It's neurological, but also like, let's just take a beat and recognize it as a spiritual concept as well.
Yes.
Which is that like, you can only carry so fucking much, dude.
Yeah.
And like exactly the same. And by the way, I was doing too fucking much in that moment.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't, and if I'm being real, and like I had to be real with myself last night, and thank God Birdie doesn't listen to my podcast. If I'm being real, the reason why I chose to do that version where I just like turned immediately around was because I knew that once Birdie once it became about Birdie and Taylor Swift and like listening to Birdie, that like getting the Gina thing accomplished would be difficult. Like, and
Right.
so then so I just sort of was like, in a way, like I later was thinking about how if I had just taken a beat, like a moment inside, like I didn't even put Gina's harness on,
Right.
which is a big deal for Jeannie because when she just really likes her harness.
She likes the harness.
She likes her little harness, her little chest. She likes her little chest to be protected with her harness. But, you know, but occasionally, like when I'm being lazy, I just like, will just slap the thing on her.
The collar.
But like, it just was, I don't know. I think there's definitely something to it. It's like that Moira Kallman show that I saw that was so beautiful, women holding things that I talked about. I love it. I love that so much because I think that we as women are used to, and we do hold so much all the time and carry so much all the time that it literally at a certain point, the universe throws us to the fucking ground.
Right. Yeah.
And like, I just feel like, okay, so new moon, solar eclipse today, Scorpio, it's a new moon. I am going to try to reset and just think about like, what are the things that I'm currently holding that I don't need to?
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to let that shit go because I'm not going to fucking die falling downstairs, guys. I can't. That
No.
is, what a bummer.
No one.
It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for you. You need to, we're writing a better ending for you because an end is going to come for all of us.
Oh yeah.
but
Oh, we're clear on that. Like I'm
We're
not,
not-
it's not, but I'm not ready for like a sudden, I'm not in for a surprise ending.
Yeah, no.
I'm not, you know what I mean?
No.
Like I'm not, there's still a lot that needs to, and that was another thing. It's so funny because I actually was thinking about that too. Like I was just like, I just want to do more stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
For the world, like not like more stuff for myself. Like I literally was like, I want to do more.
But it's okay
I
to
know
want to
I'm not
do
gonna-
more stuff for yourself too. I've been thinking about that a lot. I've been thinking a lot about like time that I waste or what equals wasted time and what I want to do for other people, but also stuff I want to do for myself. You know?
I can't really think of anything I want to do for myself.
Really?
I mean, I like facials,
There you go. You want to do that?
but I had one that morning.
Yeah. But do you want to
Listen.
get another one day again?
Well, of course.
Yeah. So, so things like that. I mean,
I literally had the thought and I almost posted it. And then I was just like, this is just bad taste busy. Because I also was like, but like if I had died, I do want to say I never got Botox.
and your face was looking the best that,
And my face is looking fucking great. I did
That's
get
a good
that laser.
argument for getting regular facials. If
did get, and I got that laser.
if that's in your budget, because you never know when you're going to fall down some fucking stairs and
You know what I mean?
and bite it.
Well, I didn't look great because I hadn't done my full cleansing routine yet. And like,
Well, someone would have done that for you post-mortem. They wouldn't just let you have that insane makeup for your open casket.
that makes me sad. I'm not going to have an open casket. What are you talking about?
Well, you wouldn't have had a choice at that point unless you've specified. You don't know what would have happened to you.
That's true. That's true.
Who's in charge of that?
I literally have no idea.
Okay, well, if God forbid it should happen while I'm still on this earth, now it's on record that you prefer not an open casket.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't even really thought about it. I thought it was so fucking weird when I was a little kid and I went to my grandma's.
Yeah.
Like that was very, very strange for me.
I think it's weird too. I think it's a weird. I mean, listen, death is strange, right? Because it just is. It's strange. It's because it's not life, and life is what we know the best. We live thousands of days, but we only die one day. So it's a weird thing for anyone to sort of wrap their head around, I think. And so the customs around it are strange, and like for some people, it happens all too often and they're all too familiar with it. And then for the rest of us, we're lucky and it remains a strange thing for us. But I think an open casket is kind of like a weird thing. And I always think it's so, like my dad was open casket, but then he also was cremated. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought that was a one or the other situation, but I guess not.
I kind of did too.
Yeah, but not for my dad. He had it all. He had open casket and cremation.
Well, I didn't die.
Yeah, you didn't die.
I did feel a little bit like it definitely light team intervention.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I definitely was like, but I think it was a good thing for me to like recognize that I need to like sometimes slow down.
Slow it down a beat.
I need to slow it down. And
it's
I need
like
to,
when you choke on food and your parents are like, you need to slow down. You need to chew. And you're like, oh yeah, that shouldn't be a reminder that you need to almost choke to death.
Yeah.
To slow down. But
I know. I'm really glad that I was sober though, because I think if I had been, well, who even knows what
who
would have
even
happened.
knows? Well, I'm glad you're sober too, because again, if you had died, toxicology report, she
Awkward.
drunkenly fell down some stairs. It would have been awkward.
And then that's fucking awkward.
Don't want it. Don't want it.
No one wants it.
You need to chew your food. We need to chew our lives more carefully.
Oof,
sometimes.
put that on a t-shirt. I'm kidding. Don't. I'm so sorry, guys. This took an hour and 30 minutes for me to tell you. If the diarrhea doesn't get her, the fucking stairs will.
Well, I'm sorry you were so sick, and I'm sorry that you fell down the stairs, and I'm sorry that I missed it. I do feel like a bad friend.
No, I mean, Jesus. I had to. I texted Emily this morning. She was like, Emily and I have a thing sometimes with each other where, like, if we're getting on planes, we text each other, and we're like, just so you know, I'm like on an airplane. If I die, like basically, if I die, you know what I mean? My plane's about to take off.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
I love you, you know, whatever. And so she texted me because she's going somewhere today for the day for work. And I wrote back, I almost died last night falling down the front stoop of the kid's house.
No.
She was like, what? And I'm like, I'm fine.
Oh my God.
Okay. I mean, I'm literally fine. My mom freaked the fuck out. So I was like,
course.
Finally, after I did those Instagram stories, old school vibes, like turn to the camera because because I didn't have anyone else there to talk to. Truly, like, oh God, that makes me sad. Okay.
Well,
but it's not sad. It's just, it is what it is.
It's just how it is. But I was thinking as you were telling the story and telling like of Mark being like, okay, you know, you're all good. So, and like going your separate ways in the house, like it just made me think of like, yeah, how different that must be.
Yeah. It was sad in the way that like I was kind of like, Birdie refuses to sleep with me because I don't know why, but I don't know. She's a teenager.
Yeah.
She's like, nah. But I was like, do I just make Birdie come sleep with me?
Aw.
And like, had Cricket not been sound asleep for hours, I was like, can't do that. But then you know who really sidled up like spooning me?
Gina
Linetti. Gina motherfucking Linetti. Just
my gosh.
pressed her little back against my side.
Oh my
like
gosh.
She was like, we weren't really spooning, but like she was just like, she just got as close to me as she could.
Yeah.
And like just
they know.
So then I like fell asleep and then my mom called. My phone rang and I picked it up and my mom was like, are you okay? I just watched your stories. And she was so upset. And I was like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm fine. Also, I have to go to sleep now. Goodbye. So she called me when I was on my way over here. But anyway, so that's my story of my fucking week. Tonight is the Center for Reproductive Rights Gala.
You're going to that as well?
Well, I'm committed to going. I think...
Can you sit down at it?
I think that I will go and take pictures and stuff. And then I might not stay for the whole shebang.
I think that's good. Yeah, I know you think it's very important, and I agree to show up for things, especially
also,
when
like,
you said that you would.
And for me, it's like, I know whatever it is, guys, but like, I take pictures there, and then like maybe the pictures in People magazine, and then people know about the Center for Reproductive Rights and the amazing work that it does, and people remember that abortion is what is on the ballot.
Right.
In a couple short weeks.
Yeah.
That our bodily autonomy is on the fucking ballot. Whether or not you live in a state where abortion is legal still or not.
Yeah.
It is important that we hold the majority and we not lose it to some unhinged motherfuckers.
And as we said a few weeks ago, the turkey is out of the oven. It's crunch time.
So that's why I'm like, I will show up.
Yeah. I think that's good. But just take good care of yourself.
Yeah.
Too.
And
maybe don't wear wide leg pants. I feel like that's been I love the look, but I feel like it's been behind some of my most near-death experiences lately.
I think for me, there's no rhyme or reason. to the falling. I think it's literally about intention and me just being very specific and like paying attention.
Yeah.
Intention and paying attention.
There you go.
That's it.
Hopefully that'll keep you where you should be within gravity.
And then tomorrow I have this like philanthropy giving summit thing and luncheon for Town and Country that I was invited to speak at with Shannon Watts. And
oh, great.
Yeah.
Give her a hug for me.
I will. And then I go back to Atlanta.
It really sounds like this near-death experience
slowed me down.
Has really slowed you down and
really
changed your life.
I mean, how good does my skin look? Caissie, just real quick.
It does look so good.
I mean, I'm like really admiring my skin right now.
It does look so good. You're so lucky you didn't get a road rash on your face.
No, the only thing I got is like, I got one teeny tiny little scratch on my leg. It's so weird.
That's amazing. But
thank you to my light team. Shout out to my light team, per usual, for carrying me. Moot, my great grandfather, Erwin St. John Tucker. We know now that you're definitely on the light team.
Yeah, floated you down those stairs, those stone steps.
Aww. Jenna, all my friends.
Aww, working together.
Heath, I don't know if you're there. I know you float. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, yeah, you look good. You don't look any worse for wear. But yeah. Woo! That's a big one. I do feel sorry I missed it. I mean, I'm going to go back and watch your stories now. I was out because it was my 24th wedding anniversary.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God. With all my drama, I missed your excitement. I'm so sorry. Tell me everything.
Okay. Well, it was a big weekend because on Saturday, we went to the wedding of our friends.
Oh my God. Which, by the way, I'm like real fucking bummed I didn't become better friends with them before that wedding. That was literally all I could think was like, why didn't I make that fucking happen?
No exaggeration.
Better friends with them.
No exaggeration. The best wedding that I've ever been to.
Everyone said that.
This is the wedding of our friend Chelsea Devontes, who has been a co-host on this podcast. She also hosts Celebrity Book Club podcast, and she's a TV writer. She was a writer on the first season of Girls Five Eva, and but she's a longtime friend of mine. And her husband now, Yasser Lester, who is like an actor and also a TV writer, and now he's writing a Marvel movie, which is, they're definitely a power couple. But I feel so lucky because I've known them. Well, I met Chelsea just before she started going out with Yasser because I think I told this on the podcast when Chelsea was on the podcast, but we used to have this big orphan Thanksgiving in Connecticut, and we would invite everyone from New York City who wasn't getting home to be with their family. And Ashley Nicole Black's like first year in New York, she came to the Thanksgiving. And then the next year, I had met Chelsea once at some political like activism event through Ashley. But Ashley was like, I'm not going to make it to your Thanksgiving this year, but my friend Chelsea, who you've met, can she come because she's not going to make it home to Arizona for Thanksgiving? And I was like, yeah, sure. Just, give her my info. And then Chelsea wrote an email being like, thanks for having me. I hate to ask, but may I also bring a date? Because I'm dating this guy. And I was like, yeah, of course. That's fine. And then she wrote again and she was like, you're going to kill me, but can I also bring my brother? Because like he lives in the city and, we have nowhere to, he has nowhere to go. And I was like, yes, of course. This will be so fun. So she comes. I'm sure we have like 40 people for dinner. Our kids were wholly enchanted by Chelsea because she's enchanting and magnetic and the best.
She really is.
Yeah. But they
really
were
a
like,
sparkly fucking person.
My gossipy teenagers after were like, we really like your new friend Chelsea, but we're worried about her relationship. And I was like, what are you worried about? And they were like, because we know that one of the guys was her brother and one was her date. And but we couldn't remember which was which. And that was like, they had like the same energy toward them, like both the brother and the boyfriend. And so we feel like it can't be like that, great of a relationship. Like maybe it's kind of doomed.
How old were your kids?
They were like probably, I don't know, 15 and
I mean, gentlemen.
I'm saying gossipy, but they were right. She was, sort of at the end of the relationship with this guy, and she met Yasser, I think just a few days later, and they were like, just from the second they met, just clearly in love. And I remember meeting Yasser at Ashley's birthday party. He came, and it was the first time Ashley was meeting, like it was the first time Chelsea's best friend Ashley was meeting the new guy. And what I remember from that night is I spent so much time talking to Yasser that I was like, I felt bad. I was like, he's here, he's meeting the best friend of his new girlfriend. He's also like in a relatively new relationship with this girlfriend who lives in New York and he lives in LA. So he's only here for a limited time, but he spent so much time talking to me and really getting to know me that I sort of was like, I felt like, not like we were on a date, but I felt like we were there together. And, but that's just.
You were jeopardizing him, his time. And you felt like you were hogging him.
Yeah,
you
monopolizing him. Yes,
yeah.
I was hogging him. But the truth is, I think that's just how he makes everyone feel. I think everyone felt that way. I think he just makes you feel very important and like he cares a great deal about you. And that's because he does care a great deal about everyone. So they're just a really lovely couple. And they just had this wedding that was like the most imaginative, creative, over the top wedding, which they fully acknowledged and was just amazing. The dress code was try to top us.
That was my favorite thing. I've seen so many people who were guests and their fabulous fucking outfits. And your outfit, it's so funny because you were like, three people asked. I was going to bring it up on the podcast. I was
I didn't post a picture of my outfit.
I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. It was like a close up of you and Matt's face. Fine. But like, I was like, I got to see everybody else's like try to outdo us outfits.
I know.
And I was a little bit like, well, that's rude because you're an influencer, a fashion influencer.
And I failed at the number one directive.
And you fucking failed. And also I was like, how did you do? Did you try to outdo? You know what I mean? And I was going to just bring it up on the pod, so I'm glad that you beat me to it. But you did post your outfit, which I thought was pretty fucking fabulous.
Thank you. I wore pajamas by Catherine Delish, who is like she's like a burlesque designer. She's not a burlesque designer. She designs like pajamas and loungewear, fancy pajamas and loungewear, that a lot of burlesque performers just happen to wear, but I wore a lounge suit, like a leopard satin lounge suit that was super comfortable and I thought very beautiful and just like fit perfectly and was so easy to wear. And it was just like a wild time, and I could go into like every detail of the wedding. If you follow Chelsea on Instagram, I'm sure you'll see like the details coming out, but it was just like, it was so cool. And it was in our old neighborhood of Glassell Park where we lived when we first moved to LA. But the funniest thing to me is like I saw not going to lie, there were celebrities at the wedding, celebrity friends of the couple, celebrities that I knew, and like then just a lot of people that like work in showbiz and stuff. And I've been lucky to meet Yasser's family. And so I was happy to see them. And just everyone. But the funny thing is like the way that it was at this place that's like, I guess I can say it doesn't matter. It's normally like a studio, right? But they have events there. And, but the way that it worked is that everybody kind of had to line up before they, opened the doors, like while they were still getting the place ready. And so it reminded me of a comedy show, which is fitting since they're both comedians. It was making me laugh. We didn't take an Uber. Matt was like, this is our old neighborhood. I can find a place to park. So he just dropped me. I got in line and he went to park the car. But the funniest thing, out of like everyone who like I ran into in the line and got to say hi to and everything is that, do you know Clementine Ford, the actress?
I do not.
Clementine Ford is Sybil Shepherd's daughter, but she's also like, she's an actor. You'd recognize her, I think, if you saw her. And she's really kind. And we are just like, we're social media friends, but we also both belong to like a Los Angeles like moms Facebook group, I think, which is probably where we first met, but we've never met in person. But she wasn't even at the wedding. She was just driving by, saw the line and was like, holy shit, I saw you in that line. Which I think was just really funny. But yeah, I mean, every detail of the wedding was amazing. There were many outfit changes. The bride and groom, many of the guests changed their outfits. I saw some fantastic outfits.
I want to tell you something crazy.
Fun. Yeah.
Clementine Ford was born 4 days after me.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. I feel like you guys would be friends.
Yeah, I think we maybe would be. Because we are literally 4 days apart.
Yeah, just born under the same star. She's wonderful. But I thought that was so funny that she was like, holy shit, I was driving by and I was like, that's Caissie. And then I think she said her husband said, are you really excited to see someone from one of your mom groups? And she was like, yeah. But anyway, there were a lot of people who listened to the podcast who were guests at the wedding. I met one person who I was like a fan of from a TV show that he's on. And then his girlfriend, after we were talking for like 20 minutes, was like, I totally listened to your podcast. By the way, like in case it seems like I already know you, that's why. So there were a lot of podcast listeners who were also guests at the wedding. So it was super cool to meet you all in person. And yeah, it was just like a really, really, you know, I think like it's gonna go into my top 3 parties of my life. My wedding, your 40th birthday party, and Chelsea and Yasser's wedding. Like top three best parties, maybe. It was a good one.
Damn.
It was a good
really
one.
Should have put in the work the last 2 years.
And then
sorry, Gina. I just scared Gina. Sorry.
Well, no, then I was excited when Yasser and Chelsea chose that date for their wedding because it was so close to our wedding date. And I remembered like it was just like October weddings, I think, are perfect because you can wear what you want and not be too sweaty. And I just like the festive fall vibes for me. It's great. And so our wedding anniversary was yesterday on a Monday, not the most exciting day, but Matt made reservations at Yamashiro in LA. I'm sure you've been.
Love. Of course.
Talk about a place where you could fall down a lot. I feel like that was really on my mind, like not falling down, because it's just this, it's supposed to be a replica of a Japanese palace. I don't know. We were reading the history of it. Non-Japanese people built it and, you know, designed it. And so I don't know how authentic it is.
It's like from the 40s, right?
I think even before that, I think even in the 20s, I think 20s, like by the 20s, it had become like a. Did you almost fall down just sitting in your chair? Oh my God, be careful.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, we went to Yamashiro, but it's like there's a lot of stairs and a lot of like hilly areas, and I was like, I'm 100% gonna bite it, and die on my 24th wedding anniversary.
What time did you fucking think that? I'm not even kidding. Did you do this to me? What time did you think that?
Our reservation was 7:15, but we got there early and they sat us early. So
okay, but that wouldn't work out. I was 11:11. I was flying down the stairs.
No, but I mean, like, I thought I was going to fall down the whole time. So we could have been like going down the stairs to look at the koi pond or something at that. So I could have sent you like very tentative.
Here's what I'm going to say. Guys, we have to we gotta harness our energies here. and when I say you guys, I mean Caissie St. Ange. I'm gonna need you to harness your fucking energy.
Yeah, I'm always cursing you.
If I am energetically tied to a person, I cannot even explain to you, like, shit fucking happens, man.
Yeah.
I like get weird stuff with people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and you've really been, we have something, I'm going to need you to really have to like, you have to like circle your energy in. You know what I mean?
I'm always going to be like putting a salt circle around myself or something to keep my caution.
Your energy.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to say it, Caissie. Keep your energies to yourself. Keep your energies in your orbit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to accept any energies that could harm me. I'm not going to accept any energies that can harm me. Only energies for good. I can't accept any energies that are going to harm me.
But I will say that
only good energies.
Maybe me taking a minute at Yamashiro and not falling down, because I recently had that fall, and it also involved wide-legged pants. Because I had failed to take a picture at the wedding, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to wear the same outfit for my anniversary dinner, and then I can take some pictures, because a couple people were like annoyed that they didn't get to see the outfit. So I took pictures, but at the wedding, there had been a couple times like I tripped on my wide leg pants and Matt tripped on my wide leg pants. And I was like, these are like an issue. They're like really.
Or did you need a higher heel?
I probably did, but like I'm not.
I think the only time that I've ever like, or you needed to hem the pants like half an inch.
They were petite. I will say that they were petite
I know,
pants,
but you
can
always do.
Yeah,
you can always
could
get
hem
in there.
a little more. I did have heels on, but I'm not a real heels girl.
I know.
And I felt so happy because so many people at the wedding, I believe Ashley Nicole Black won't care. She wore sneakers the whole time under her very long gown. I also saw Amber Ruffin was in a beautiful floor-length gown. And when I went up to hug her, I was like, please tell me you have sneakers on under there. And she flashed me that she was wearing sneakers. So I just think maybe people are embracing. Well, you know, it's funny. Now I'm thinking we talked about Clementine Ford. We talked about her mom, Sybil Shepherd. Remember when Sybil Shepherd famously wore Reeboks on the red carpet under her gown?
No.
She did.
But I believe you.
She did. She wore like those Reebok aerobic high tops.
That's
I hope I'm not making this up. I hope I'm not misremembering.
I don't think you are.
But anyway,
I'm sure
so
you're fine.
maybe now we're finally just gonna wear our sneakers under our gowns, and that's probably what I should have just worn sneakers the whole time. Maybe.
I just want to say again, I was wearing shoes with
you were wearing very
treads.
Sturdy. Yeah,
I was wearing
sturdy
shoes.
When I wiped out in Duluth, I was also wearing sneakers. So
Sometimes I do think when I wear heels, I am way more careful.
That could be
in a way, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for me to wear a heel because I'm like aware of every step.
You don't feel invincible.
I don't, clearly. I mean, I'm always like looking out.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
So anyway, but we were talking earlier about not knowing if there are things you want to do for yourself. You know, you want to do things for other people. But last night, our main topic of conversation was what we should do special for our 25th anniversary in a year. And Matt started to make a list on his phone. And I thought it was funny because it's literally, shocker, deviled eggs, crab rangoons, and a baked potato bar.
Is it going to be a party? Are we having a party?
I think we would have a party.
I think a party feels right.
Yeah.
I would love to be the deviled egg person.
Please, because you know
I love a deviled egg moment.
Yeah. And
I
you
sent
just
Caissie
sent me
from Atlanta, and then I tagged you in the photo, which is insane. But
it made me laugh so hard.
I sent Caissie because they had this set dressing. It was like this baby shower scene, and I was like, oh my God. And they had made these little deviled eggs look like little carriages, baby carriages. And I was like, this is actually fucking amazing. Like,
these are so cute. And then you were like, do we know anyone who's having a baby?
I know. I was like,
I have to make these eggs for someone.
I really want to still. But you know what?
Oh, it made me laugh so hard.
Oh my God. I have like something on the back of my leg that's like a boil.
Oh no.
I don't know what it is. Or like a bite or something.
It's
like
probably
weird.
a bite or like an ingrown hair.
Oh, God. What's happening here? God.
Just put a hot compress on it.
Ooh, love a hot compress. Anyway, okay. Oh, my God. Wait, hold on.
Are you good?
Oh, God. I don't know, dude. I literally don't know. But I think so. This eclipse and the moon and everything is really
It's messing with you.
It's fucking messing with me. I'm not going to lie. And maybe it's everything else, but it feels like maybe this is too much of a coincidence for it to just not be tied into moon shit. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's also like this time of year always catches us by surprise, and we just start hurtling toward the end of the year, and it's event after event after event after event, and we're bad at it now. We're not as good at it and as capable of just stacking events like that as we used to be. I think that every time I always try to plan events where I have a few days after, to just make sure that I didn't somehow pick up COVID at the event and spread it. So I missed, Clint Trucks, right? He had a birthday party for his baby on Sunday, and I really wanted to go, but I was just at that wedding, and everybody had to show their vaccine card or whatever when they RSVP'd, but still you just never know. And so I could not in good conscience go to that little kiddo's birthday party and possibly, you just don't know. Yeah. So I just try to spread everything out by 5 days, but that's going to be really hard coming up. And I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. People just want to. What is it? What is it about the last quarter of the year that makes everyone I know it's holidays. I know Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. So everyone wants to celebrate. But I think also people see oh shit, the whole year has gone by and I haven't done a lot of the things and I haven't seen a lot of the people that I meant to see. And now I have to shove it in and, it's the worst time maybe to try to plan anything. But people also want to be festive. So I don't fucking know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is. I do want to host a cookie swap for my friends this year.
I love a cookie swap. I really love one.
Because everyone was complaining, not everyone, but a couple of my friends were complaining that it's a little hard to feel festive in Los Angeles if you're from the East Coast, just because you have to make more of an effort to, when you're in New York, the decorations are all around. It's going to just snow on you randomly without you having to plan anything. And it just feels festive. And we don't have that in LA. So you have to go more out of your way to see festive things, whatever. So cookie swap. That's my solution.
Listen, I, for years, would attend Naomi Scott's famous cookie swap.
Wow. Well, I don't know if mine will be famous, but...
Well, it was famous to me because it was the only one I'd ever been to, and it was fucking amazing. Every year, I was like, these bitches turn it out.
Yeah.
And
it's competitive.
It's competitive. A cookie swap gets fucking competitive. Let's be real, everybody. If you do a cookie swap, how competitive do you get?
What kind of cookies would you make for Naomi's cookie swap?
Well, I make my grandma moots. They're okay, it's hard to explain. They're called Moots Crescent cookies.
Okay.
And it's somewhere between sort of a Mexican wedding cookie.
Uh-huh.
And a snowball, people that make those snowball cookies, Swedish,
yeah,
because it's pecans dough. It's pecan dough, basically. That's you refrigerate, it's real, and then you shape it into a little crescent moon, and you bake it, and then when they are still hot, you toss them in powdered sugar.
Delicious.
Oh, they're butter. It's butter, flour, pecans, salt. That's it.
I like butter pecan because
I'm going to send you these this year. I'll send these to you.
Because we were
Moots
on-
Crescent cookies are the fucking best. Just the
That's
fucking
like
best.
my favorite. Busy and I are on, I don't know if it's happened yet, but we did an episode of Richard Blaze from Top Chef. We did his food court podcast.
Wait, I'm pretty sure it was like he already is out.
Is it? I don't know. I didn't.
Huh.
I don't know. We do so many podcasts. But I feel bad if it came out already because I would have shared it. But anyway, Busy and I debated whether mint chocolate chip ice cream or butter pecan ice cream was better. I was on team butter pecan. And Busy loves mint chocolate chip. We had a hard time figuring out a food that we disagreed about, but obviously these cookies sound like they would be amazing to me.
They're fucking amazing. And then generally I would do, because you have to bring like 3 dozen cookies. It's like
Yeah.
a crazy amount.
Yeah.
So generally I would do those cookies and like 2 dozen of those. And then I would make a dozen or 2 of like those really good gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. Do you remember that
Nice.
recipe that we had? You've had them before. You've had those cookies.
I'm
and
sure.
it was the cookie that I became obsessed with in the beginning of the lockdown. And it started me, on a journey.
On
I
a
should just
journey
say.
of just like
on a cookie journey.
bender. A cookie bender.
I mean, a real cookie bender. Yeah, is a way we could describe what my life
Oh
was
my
for
gosh.
several fucking years. Let's just
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah.
But
I love it. I used to make tons of holiday cookies when we lived in Connecticut to like the kids I would make up little like tins of them, and then the kids would go in their Power Wheels car and deliver them to the neighbors on the cul-de-sac. But I haven't made cookies so much since we've been in LA, but a cookie swap is what's going to get me to do it.
I think it's great. I'm very happy. I'm excited about it. I wish I was there.
Well, maybe you'll be here. Who knows? Maybe.
No, I don't think I will be. Although, actually, I am going to come to do Thrilling Adventure Hour.
Yeah. So when
In
are you
December.
maybe we can.
I
plan it
can't
around
remember. I
then.
think it's December. I'll look. I have it in my calendar because
Okay.
after on the other night, I was like, I'm doing this. I'm putting this in my calendar right now.
Yeah.
It's the 17th.
Oh, so maybe we can plan it when you're in town.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, that's real close to Christmas.
Yeah. But I guess
Well.
the point is people stay here for Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If
Yeah,
not,
I used to do that.
if not, I'll at least make sure you get some cookies from the swap.
It's not good. It's not worth it. It isn't. It's not worth it to ship cookies. Just enjoy them. Don't worry about me. Maybe I'll host my own here on the East Coast. Maybe we can do it on the same night, and
Yes.
it'll be like East Coast, West Coast.
Yes, that would be fun.
Same party.
Same party.
Just
Same
one
party,
on the
same time.
West Coast, one on the East. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me what you're doing your best at this week.
You know what, Biz? I'm not doing my best at a lot of things. Like, I just feel like I was feeling really good because I had a handle on being organized. And I feel like the wheels have fallen all the way off of being organized. So that is making me feel bad. I don't like I just need to organize stuff. I just
Okay.
need to hang all my clothing
Ugh,
back
hate
up
it.
that I've, when you go through like 2 rounds of laundry and you didn't put it away, that's when you're starting to get into like back in college territory. You're in
Yeah.
trouble. All my shoes are out. I have to put all my shoes away. All of my makeup's out because I've had a lot of events that I've attended where I had to put makeup on. Didn't have to, wanted to put makeup on, was
Sure.
fortunate to have lots of makeup to play with, but I gotta
Yes.
put it all back. And like our bedroom is small and it's just kind of hectic in there. And a lot of it is my stuff and a lot of it is Matt's stuff. But we are getting into like college dorm territory.
But wait, that's not what you're doing your best at.
I'm not doing my best at that and I need to do better at that.
Okay.
But I just want to say that like if you're living in chaos right now and you need to like take an afternoon to get your shit together, I'm 100% there with you. I guess what I'm doing my best at, and it's just a small thing, but it's very important, is that California mails a ballot to everyone early to vote in the election. And I really got my ballot out, did my homework on all of the candidates, all of the resolutions, all of the judges, everything. And so I did my ballot, which is it's basically like writing a term paper. I feel like it's equivalent to that, that amount of work you have to put into
hard.
a California ballot. So
all of them. It's not just California. And I do want to say, guys, it's on purpose.
Yeah. To get you
These
to be like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
This is like why they make things so fucking difficult. Well,
so
I
did the work for that, and I got my ballot done, and also have nagged my family, and they were 75% done with the ballots, and 75% have been mailed off. I won't name who hasn't mailed their ballot, but
Eli. I know. We all know. We all know.
But
Eli,
he will.
You will.
It's very important to him, and he will.
I know he will.
What are you doing your best at?
Staying alive.
Staying, as the Bee Gees once sang.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm doing my best at sort of just being present. Again, I'm trying to work on that the most.
Yeah.
And, I like doing well at my job. And that was I really glossed over that in this podcast because we had to get to the insanity of my day yesterday.
Yeah.
But I really had a nice time on that set. And I will say one thing that was kind of very nice for me, and I allowed myself to feel it, which is a rarity for me, as you know. For so many people, it's hard to take a compliment. It's hard to recognize whatever your own accomplishments. I think that's a common, right? That's
I think
right?
so.
I really felt I walked onto this set I've never worked with anybody before in the crew or the cast,
Right.
And the crew, and obviously Sophia, but the crew, it's really specific to the crew.
Yeah.
They were very lovely to me in a way that was and many of them said it's so great to meet you. I'm been such a I'm a fan. I've always loved everything you're in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt I had reached this point in my career where I didn't have to prove anything. It was I had immediately had respect.
Yeah.
Walking into the set, which I am not going to lie to you. Literally, that's the first time I've ever felt that. But it was but also to be fair, I haven't walked onto a lot of sets that aren't mine in the last, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because I've only been on this bitch just stealing focus. But I've only been on our set on Girls Five Eva. And then before that, it was our talk show. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
I just mean so it has been many years since I've done a job like this.
Right.
But it was a real moment for me where I was oh, I actually have earned this thing.
Yeah.
That is wild. It felt so good, and I actually allowed myself to acknowledge it. Not to any, I'm acknowledging it. I'm telling you guys about it. Not I didn't say to I didn't make a speech or something.
But you accepted it.
I accepted it from from what I was the vibes I was getting, and from things that people were saying, and was that's, obviously that's so fucking nice. Thank you so much. Whatever. So happy to be here. But I just mean later on my own, in my hotel room or whatever, I was that's really cool. I've never had that experience before. And I am at a place in my career, in my life where I've really earned that. I really have worked so hard, and not everyone gets to be on, an NBC television show at age 19 and then still working at age 43.
Right.
Like,
right.
That's not, it actually is a rare journey that I've been able to like sustain my career in all the ways that I've done it. And it just was like very, and some people were like, a few of the younger crew members were like, I just love like your activism. I love what you stand for. Like, you know, it just felt like it was really nice, like to be, I don't know, for me to feel, I always am like, you know, that's the constant battle. I always am like, I'm the outsider, right? Like my whole life.
Right.
But to finally just feel like, oh, I don't have to like prove anything. I don't have to like over explain who I am or what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? I just can fucking chill and like do my job, which I like to do.
Yeah. Do you think it's that you had like earned respect, or do you think people are different now than they were back then? Or do you think it's that like, I don't know. I'm interested. Do you think like people are more?
It could just be like a really lovely crew.
Yeah,
I have no
that's
idea.
True. That's
like
true.
It could just be a really great group of people. Like it's, you know, I don't know, but it was just like, also because I'm not, you know, I'm not like going on to tons of sets and things, you know, and it just was like, it felt really. I don't know if like things have changed necessarily in the industry.
Yeah.
Just from like things I've heard from some people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's really dependent.
Yeah. Some people in the industry are still getting banned from restaurants.
Oh my God, motherfucker. I swear to God, you guys, we haven't even talked about any celeb gossip, and boy, oh boy, has there been a bit of it. And we like I'm not even going to get into like the spiral of Kanye West. Like that's not even, I'm not interested. We're very, this group, you guys, we're all very well versed now from thanks to our talk we had a couple weeks ago on the rise of anti-Semitism and its tie to white nationalism and what it all means and how we have to like actively fight against it at every turn in every way we can. I will say I did not post one of those tiles because I just was like, I was doing that ACLU thing yesterday and I couldn't, you know, when you can't spend enough time to like really figure a thing out. Do you know what I mean? On the internet.
Yeah.
For me, my rule is always like, I have to defer to just not doing it. You know, like until I can like take the time to figure out what everybody's doing.
I just think like listen, here's what I think. No shade to anyone that shares a tile ever. Like I know people get very upset about those things sometimes based on like the source of like who suggested doing it, or it's not as well thought out as it should have been. I just think it's very easy and facile to share one of those tiles and then feel like you really did something. So I think for me, talking about it here on the podcast, sharing whatever you're going to wind up sharing in the future on social media that's like personal and true for you. You're the mother of 2 Jewish children.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's, you know, I think that I wouldn't worry about not posting the tile. That's what I guess
that was
saying.
Also like I had, obviously, you guys, we went through my day. It took fucking an hour and 45 minutes, but we got through it. And so at no part in that day did you think that I have fucking I didn't post anything yesterday at all. Like I had no fucking time. I was like literally putting together those shows, like those charity like live shows sometimes is just, you've done
it's all weeds.
Oh my God,
you never like, even like we're starting to get into the weeds. It's all weeds.
It's all weeds. You literally have no idea. Like from the moment I arrived until I left at 10:30, it was like weeds. Weed
Yeah.
City, man. And like we were just, and not the good kind, not the kind I
Not
like.
the fun kind.
No, it was just like Sarah and I were screaming, like, rewriting things, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
like whatever. It was just like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, what the fuck, James Corden? Just what? How hard is it to be nice to people in a fucking restaurant? What's wrong with this guy? I don't get it.
And then he
I like-
apologized and was
But
unbanned.
then he took it back?
But then he took it back, and then he was banned again. And I
Wait.
guess now
Wait,
he's
taking
like
it back is one of the craziest moves of all time. Like that was to me where I was like, what is happening?
It's really weird. I mean, listen, I don't know James Corden. I never met that guy.
I've been on the show.
Yeah, and I'm sure he
But
was fine.
It was fine.
I'm sure he was fine.
Sure.
What maybe he was like took it back because he was annoyed that people were like making such a like people were kind of enjoying, you know, the cycle of gossip as we've talked about. And, you know, and if, you know, it's not funny that if he was abusive to some servers and staff members at a restaurant, that's not funny. But it is a little funny, like the publicness of like calling him out and banning him and then him apologizing and then taking it back. And like maybe he took it back because he was mad at like how much the internet was going on about it. I don't know. And then I feel like now, just today, Tuesday.
Oh God, there's an update.
I feel like he admitted that he said some unsavory things. I think that's the quote.
But does he get to eat for free for the next 10 years?
I don't, that's
Because that was what the owner, guys, just so you know, in case you're not familiar. Okay. Just real fast, I'm going to get Cliff Notes this story for you. The owner of this restaurant in New York, Balthazar, posted a thing about how James Corden was banned from the restaurant for horrible behavior because he had berated two separate staff members on separate occasions, and that kind of abuse will not be tolerated at Balthazar, and he's no longer welcome in the restaurant.
right.
Then what happened next is that Corden made some sort of apology. Then Balthazar guy was like, whose name is not Balthazar, by the way, but the guy that is the owner of Balthazar was like, okay, I'm unbanning James Corden.
Right.
Then James Corden was at like some sort of like photo call or something for a play that he's doing here in New York, because he's going to be here for like a while, I think, doing some play. And the New York Times asked him about the incident, in which he responded something to the effect of, I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
This is ridiculous. I didn't do anything wrong. To which then prompted the owner of Balthazar to do another incredibly lengthy post.
Right. Detailed.
With a lot of details of things that were said.
Because restaurant staffs like log all these incidents.
Correct.
Like a captain's log on a ship.
By the way, I know because I know so many chefs and so many people who work in restaurants.
Right.
And like I have friends who are servers in cool places.
Right.
And friends with general managers of restaurants. I know that when any fucking famous person comes in, they put it in the log. So by the way, if you don't think that I haven't been on my best fucking behavior every fucking restaurant I've walked into since 1998, you're out of your damn mind. You will never, if anyone ever says that I was rude to someone in a restaurant, that's just a lie. Because I am so, from my days in California Pizza Kitchen, acutely aware of like, anyway. And now, of course, with social media. Anyway, so then they have it like logged with details. The owner of the restaurant, is it the general manager or maybe the general manager? Or the owner? No, I think it's the owner, right?
The owner, Keith McNally.
Yeah, okay, it's the owner. Posts the details, then takes it a step further. He's like, not only is he fucking banned, but I'm going to go a step further. He's banned. The ban is back. He's not welcome at Balthazar unless he meets these conditions.
Because he said he did nothing wrong in an interview. Mm-hmm. And he said that the issue is that he said he made a remark to a server because his wife had ordered, this is the most intriguing detail to me, an all egg yolk omelet. and there were traces of white in the.
What the fuck is an all yolk omelet?
I've never seen such a thing.
I've
but
never
then,
even heard of it.
at some point, I don't know if it was in the New York Times article, he said that his wife has a serious allergy and that's why they were upset.
Okay, let me
but
tell you
how
something.
could you be allergic?
No.
Are people
Also-
just allergic to whites?
Also, I'm just going to say this. Take eggs off the table.
Yeah, just
you know
to
what I
be
mean?
safe.
If
Just
you
to be
have a
safe.
really severe allergy to egg whites but not the yolks, I think you can live without the yolks. I'm just going to say it. Emily's a vegan. She lives without eggs entirely. Like there are so many breakfast foods you can partake in that have no egg. That's my piece on that, because that just sounds not real to me. I'm sorry, doesn't sound real. But anyway,
It
so
might
then
be
the guy,
real, but
so whatever, fine. But so then the Balthazar guy says, "Band back." Like
Yeah.
the band's back.
Yeah.
And here are the details. And here's what I'm going to say. He's banned unless he apologizes. And I'm going to take it a step further. If he personally apologizes to the two staff members that he insulted and berated,
Right.
he can eat for free for the next 10 years at Balthazar.
Right. And so then I guess last night when you were falling down your stairs and when I was
Damn it.
celebrating my anniversary, James Corden, during his monologue, said when you make a mistake, you've got to take responsibility.
Oh, God, I have deja vu right now. Just FYI.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I have deja vu.
When you make a mistake, you've got to take responsibility, Corden said in the opening of his CBS show that aired early Tuesday morning. So that was just, I think this is his second apology now. Corden said he called McNally to talk it out and thought they had cleared the air privately. But he said at that point, the story was out there and people were upset. He said, I love that restaurant. I love the staff there. And I hope I'm allowed in one day. So when I'm back in New York, I can go there and apologize in person, which is something I will absolutely do.
So I guess he eats for free.
I guess.
If he apologizes in person.
I don't know. I don't even know. The timeline is
Wonky.
the timeline's wonky. It's too, I've never seen someone banned and unbanned so many times, over eggs or anything else. And, yeah. And I'm just, this is
I
all
think
to
the
say
bottom-
you've never been banned from a restaurant.
Well, for sure not. But I think that the bottom line for me is I really do question a person who, like, I have had shitty service. I have had shitty service.
Yeah.
And I've had waiters that seemed like fucking over my table from the get, you know?
Right.
And I've had food that has been wrong. And we've all had all of these experiences. I do not understand. I guess it is really a matter of maybe people, the divide between those who have worked in the service industry and those who have not. Because there is no part of me that even when I get like a fucking asshole server who is like a dick to me, well, that's also my, that's my own issues where I'm like, well, they're going to love me by the time we leave this goddamn restaurant. And you know what? Sometimes they do not. But I'm always respectful and I would never be rude.
Right.
I would never be rude. And also, like, mistakes in the kitchen, like, aren't the server's fault. Even when people forget shit, I'm like, life is fucking hard. I forget stuff all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, stuff gets messed up.
Stuff gets messed up all the time. Life is hard. Not everything's fucking perfect. Not everything gets served to you on a silver fucking platter, fucking exactly the way you want it. Not a drop of egg white.
Right.
And you know what? Like, you got to know that about life and be like, chill. Especially when you have $100 fucking million.
You could probably get it.
Handed a fucking career that no one even knew who you were.
You could get a chicken that lays only yolks, maybe, with all of that money. Maybe.
Here's an idea. Open your own fucking restaurant. You have $100 million.
Oh my goodness. Well, the saga rolls on. But you've never been banned from a restaurant.
Are you trying? You keep asking me this as if you're going to pull something out. Like I'm on Ellen, and you're like, guess what?
Guess what?
You actually were.
You actually have. I was banned from a bar in New York City, Professor Tom's.
Why? What did you do?
Because and listen, it was wrong. I'm not going to say I wasn't wrong, but we held a Best Week Ever tweet up there when Twitter.
Yeah.
And so Professor Tom's.
You didn't tell them?
No. They graciously allowed us to have it there, and there was a big space. And so all of the cast members of Best Week Ever were there. But as you know, Best Week Ever was a show that was really popular with young people, people in college or whatever. And this young man took a bus from really far away to come to the tweet up, and he wasn't allowed to enter the bar because he was 20 and not 21. And he actually tweeted at us while we were having the tweet up, like, I can't fucking get into this thing, and I took a bus from really far away. I mean, in his what's the opposite of in his defense? In his not in his defense, he should have known if it was at a bar that he wouldn't be able to get in unless he was 21.
I'm a little bit like, sir.
Yeah. But also we were like, ugh, it's not that deep, whatever. So I won't say which one of the cast members, if you were a fan of that show, maybe you can.
Someone snuck him in.
They pulled him up over the balcony so that he wouldn't have to go because it had like a balcony. So they physically hauled him up over the balcony so that he could get into the upstairs tweet up. And so that person was banned from Professor Tom's bar. I was banned because I was the organizer, and also Katie Mervaldis, who used to work for Tina Fey, who worked at Best Week Ever, was also banned. And she was so upset about it. I'll never forget how upset she was when she got the phone call from the bar saying that she was forever banned. And I was like, Katie, like, who gives a shit? It's like a Red Sox bar in New York City.
Literally.
No one's ever, like, we're never going back there. It's fine, but it just like hurt her heart in a way that I will never forget.
I kind of understand that. Some people really, really don't like being in trouble.
Yeah.
Some people,
I don't like being in trouble either.
I mean,
it was like,
I don't like being
it
in
was
trouble.
actually one of my first adult things where I was like, oh, this is terrible. And then I was like, oh, who gives a fuck? Like, I'm never going back to that bar, whatever. And we broke a rule. Like, like a person broke a law. And I guess technically as the organizers, Katie and I were responsible for like what that person did. And so it's fine. It's fine. But anyway, that bar is shut down and it doesn't exist anymore. So I guess lifetime ban,
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I'm no longer banned from anything, but that's the truth.
I can't think of a place that I've ever been banned from that they let me know that I was banned from.
They just have your picture on the wall and they're like, listen, try to ice this lady out.
There might be some places where they're like, there might be some places where people are like, I don't like her. She can't come in. But
exactly.
I don't know.
So anyway, R.I.P. Professor Tom's. R.I.P. my only lifetime ban from any establishment. Busy, may you never be banned from anywhere.
I mean, I'm working hard. I mean, the only thing that I would ever hope would be that I'm given, like, you eat here for free. Your money's not good here. That's the only thing that would be acceptable to me. You know what I mean?
Well, if James Corden gets the 10 years of free
I'm actually
food,
annoyed at that. I have to say I'm annoyed at that. And in fact, if I were him, I would say I don't want the 10 years of free food. I'm not taking 10 years of free food. I have over $100 million to my name. And I should pay for my meals at Balthazar, and I should tip handily.
100% on every bill. But I think that was clever of the owner to be like, because if it was like, say it was me and I had like a sour attitude and I was not nice to the servers at Balthazar. And even if I had $100 million, I would still love free food. And so the owner would know that they had me over a barrel offering that and saying, but you have to like humble yourself and directly apologize to those people you had harmed. I'd be like, I wouldn't want to because I'd be an asshole for, which is indicated by behaving badly in the first place. But then I would almost have to get the free food. And so it's a power move on the part of the owner of Balthazar. But we'll see how it plays out. It's our most low stakes celebrity gossip. I feel like that's happening right now.
I love a low stakes celeb goss.
Yeah, that's all, we all need it right now. It's the chicken soup for our souls.
I mean, that is the perfect celeb goss. Let's just, just a rich white guy being a dick in a restaurant. A guy who's like, I'm the friendliest man from over the pond. And then you're like, he's like, where the fuck are my wife's eggs?
And then like a dramatic restaurant owner who's like, oh, I'm going to air this all the fuck out on Instagram. I'm going to name names.
Gina just farted.
Was it Gina or was it Tuna?
Oh my God. By the way, that is fucking ridiculous. Like as if, okay. First of all, no, it was not me, but it like Gina is sat right down next to me. I don't know.
I mean, that's the genius of having a pet is that you can blame any fart on a pet.
Literally just farted. I'm telling you.
Everyone in my family always trying to blame farts on dogs, but that's like the further genius of having a child because a pet usually stays at home. It can only go certain places, but a baby, you can strap them onto you and you can blame any smell on them at any time, no matter where you are.
Well, that's true. That is true.
So next time you get food poisoning, borrow a baby and be like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what this baby ate. It's not great.
I'm not like, but you know me, I'm like not a person that obviously I'm like talking about it on the fucking podcast. I'm not a person who like has an issue with my bodily functions and talking about it. So that's all. The only reason why I'm saying that to you right now in this moment is like, we're on a fucking podcast. You can't even smell it. Why would I lie about Gina farting? I just wouldn't say anything at all. If it were me, if my fucking tuna breath came back, I wouldn't even say a damn thing. I would just be like, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
I used to take a car home from Watch What Happens Live every night because it was like past when the last train could like take you to Connecticut. And one time this driver was like,
there's nothing bad. There's nothing worse than a farty driver. I'm sorry.
He wasn't farty, but like we went into like a skunk area, like something had happened. A skunk skunked. I don't know if it got hit or whatever, but he turned around to me and he was like, that's a skunk. Like he definitely wanted me to know that he hadn't made that smell. And I was like, I didn't think that your farts could do animal scent impressions. Like I know what a skunk smells like, but I just think it's one of those things that kind of like how you can never admit that someone woke you up when they call you on the phone and they're like, did I wake you up? And you always say no, even though you're not making any sense. And they clearly woke you up.
I always say yes. This is just where we're not on the same page. Like
you're not afraid to admit your vulnerabilities.
No, I'm not afraid to admit my humanness. It's not a vulnerability to be fucking human. I'm not afraid of like my inherent bodily functions.
Well, some people have a lot of work to do, and I count myself in those.
I know,
people.
but like we gotta do it, man. It's like literally we are held. This is why so much of our society is so fucked because we're so fucking we're in these cages about the fact that we're just fucking human. And it's like, you're just human. We're just animals.
I am not ashamed to admit that I fart, but if I have farted, I don't want anyone to know that that's my fart in that moment.
Okay. I mean, okay. I just am like, but who cares?
Because it's so, like, it was inside you and then it's
So what?
outside of you. And
Yeah.
then if anyone smells it, it means that it's inside of them. And that is very intimate and very, and I just want to play
Yeah, but
it
you
cool.
farted.
I know,
But then
but
go somewhere else or grab a pillow and fart into the pillow.
oh my God.
You know?
I'm saying,
have a fart pillow with you at all times.
maybe this is like when we eventually do Camp Kismet, maybe this is something that we have to do like a, some type of session about coming to terms with your.
Listen, if I fart in a bathroom stall, if I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I have a body. It does shit. I can't help it. It just is what it is. Also, guess what? It's real good looking sometimes. And it can do real sexy stuff too. But like it can make people feel good.
Some people might think your farts are sexy.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they're pretty horrific. But but like I'm just saying, like, I have like really eliminated that part of my shame. I have had shame over being a person most of my life.
Yeah.
And like, I think when I decided to get rid of it, I was like, we're going all in or we're not doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
we're all in.
I love that for you.
Me too.
I love that for you.
Me too. And I want it for everyone. I really do. Because I do think, like yesterday, literally, someone at the event, like before the event, a woman said something about her period and then apologized to a man that was standing nearby. And I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
He can know that you're bleeding through your fucking tampon. Who cares?
Yeah. Send him to go get more.
It just like, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm like, we've held, this is like, it's uniquely put upon women in a way that it is not put upon men in the same way. Now, obviously, some men, I dated a secret pooper. Like some men have their own issues around bodily functions, because of their families of origin and how they were raised. All I'm saying is that those like balls of shame, like just in order for us to move forward, I'm not even kidding, with gender equality, we have to like strip ourselves of the shame of just being human beings. We just have to do it.
I think you're right.
All of us.
I think you're right.
And it's like, you do it in front of your kids. Practice in your own home first. If that's the easiest place for you to practice.
Fart in a job interview.
Well, I'm not saying that. Like you can also have a sense of decorum if you like in an appropriate way. But like also, by the way, if you did happen to fucking fart in a job interview, I would be like, I'm so sorry. I've been having some weird stuff and I ate this weird thing and I just farted and it smells and I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't affect our job interview. I'm really sorry. I apologize for farting in your office. I have some lavender hand sanitizer I carry with me for such an occasion. I'm going to spray it now.
There you go. That's all you can do.
Yeah. It's all you can do. You know how you have your like, was it me? My butt rag for the seats, leather seats?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
Set a napkin down. Yeah.
You're just like, listen, I have a body. My body does stuff sometimes without my consent.
I do the trick of pretending that I'm wiping crumbs off of the seat. When
that's
I'm really
your trick.
wiping butt sweat. Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes it's like there's no food involved and then you're just like,
you're just like, you can't pretend. Although I probably would. I would be like, oh, there's crumbs on this seat, even though it was just imaginary food.
Listen, I hope that everybody set their intentions, had a fucking moment with this new moon. Let's shed some shit. Let's write it down with the eclipse. It's all happening.
Yeah. And like, I was thinking about when you said letting things go. I think sometimes letting things go sounds like scary to me. like letting things go. But I was also just thinking about just setting things down, you know, like just,
Ooh.
you can just set it down. Letting it go makes it seem like it's going to float out into the universe, never to be seen again. And
Okay.
you'll never get it back again if you wanted to get it back, or like maybe it could hurt someone else by bumping into them out in the universe.
Okay.
But sometimes you can just set something down if your arms are full
Sure.
and it's there and you can go back to it. And, you know, it just set something down in a safe place until you decide what you want to do with it. But you don't have to carry it the whole time.
Oof, that's so good though. That's so good. And really, like, I do mean that. Like, I do mean that, like, sometimes you're not ready to let things go. I
Yeah.
think that's what you're, like, getting at. And especially,
Yeah.
like, emotionally, sometimes you're not, you still have work to do around it. And, like, to operate under, like, the false pretense that you've let it go
Yeah.
only kind of does a disservice to you and people around you, because you're like, no, I let that thing go. I let that thing go, you know, and then like that thing rears its ugly head, like however, whenever it does. And then people are like, okay, yeah, but you said you let that thing go.
Right.
And you're like, I actually did not. But if you could sort of transform it for yourself and others, which is like, I'm setting this thing down right now because I actually don't have the bandwidth
Yeah.
to deal with it. I don't have the ability to like properly let it go. Then I think, yeah, you can return to it. You can pick it back up if you need to, but you might return to it and find that you can let it go.
Right. Right.
Guys, we're just doing the Lord's work here. And and what a fucking wild journey. I think I've really just had some kind of like, it's just been a wild day since my near-death experience at 11:11 last night.
You're a different person.
I am, you know?
You're a changed woman.
I'm a changed fucking person. I almost didn't die.
I'm
Like
glad-
it wasn't even close. Like people who almost die, like actually like break their necks or get into like horrific accidents and like wake up in the hospital. And I literally just like floated head over heels overhead,
Yeah.
floated down my steps, nary a scratch, one scratch, tiny little baby scratch.
It could have gone a different way, but I'm so glad
God,
it didn't.
Really fucking could have. I'm not kidding you.
No joke. Yeah. How many
Does it-
steps are there?
We can count them. And it's like, dee doo boo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5.
Yeah, that's no joke.
7.5 steps.
That's no joke. That's
Wait,
like,
here's another picture I took of Bertie standing at the top of the steps so that you can understand how I also kicked. One of the pumpkins went with me.
Oh no.
I do
Was
want
it
to
a
say.
precious pumpkin?
It was not a precious pumpkin, but one of the pumpkins did go with me.
Oh my God.
We
no.
tumbled together.
And you have a fucking RIP sign hanging on your railing for a Halloween decoration. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Everybody would have just thought you were a decoration.
Do you know what I'm doing my best at this week?
What?
Like, just letting God take the wheel.
Wait.
I'm fucking Carrie Underwood, and I am just like,
Jesus, take the wheel.
I let Jesus take the wheel.
Which, by the way, someone had the funniest tweet, and I can't remember who it is, so I can't credit them, but look it up, where somebody was like, don't give Jesus the wheel. Cars weren't invented back then. He'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Also weirdly, Alex Edelman did that bit of his in the show last night.
Oh, is it Alex Edelman? Yes, it's so funny.
He does that in his stand-up. He does
Yes,
the
yes.
whole bit about
Yes.
Jesus take the wheel.
Don't give Jesus the wheel. Yes, that must be what I was thinking of. Everything's Twitter to me now. Things that I saw live, everything, like, I think everything was a tweet. But that's a genius joke that Alex Edelman has, and you should check out his comedy.
But he does like it's a whole extended bit about that song, which is also why I think maybe that was in my head when I started falling, and I was like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Woo. You know?
Woo!
And then thank God she did. And she just carried me gently.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die because I love you, and I'd be very sad today.
I am so glad I didn't die. I would have been V-bummed.
It's a bummer.
It would have been such a fucking bummer. And I would have like had to haunt that house.
Which also, like, who has the time?
No one.
You know?
No one.
At that point, I feel like you'd want to move on to new things.
But I'm just saying it would have been like, it wasn't my time. And so, you know.
Yeah.
Thank God. And I'm just going to work on not carrying so much, setting some things down, letting some things go.
Yeah.
And really just watching my step.
Yeah. Just take a minute.
Just taking my time. I'm going to slow it down.
Take a minute at the top of every staircase.
I'm going to slow it down.
Take a breath and be like, how could this staircase kill me?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Well, guys, here we go. We love you so much. Woo! Thank you for hanging out with us. And thanks also, just so many people are still listening back to the episode with Rabbi Sharon.
I did shamelessly just plug it on Instagram today.
Yeah. And
because I was just like, you know what, guys? Guess what?
It's still relevant. You know, a lot of these podcasts that we do are ephemeral, and some of them every once in a while are timeless and relevant. And a few weeks later, we're all still talking about the fucking shame that is anti-Semitism and how we just can't stay quiet about it.
No, we can't stay quiet about it. And I'm sorry, but Adidas, too fucking long. It took you too fucking long. I don't even care about, like, internally, we immediately start, fuck that.
Right.
Fuck that. Have some goddamn balls.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like have like a sense, oh my God. So in my speech to Patty Smith, there was like a really incredible, can I just give me 1 second so I can just pull it up? Because it's a quote of hers.
Yeah.
And I want to read it here. And this is how we're going to end the show. Guys, you've stuck with us for so long. And I'm asking you to hang in a little bit longer, almost like what people at that fundraiser last night had to do. They just had to hang in. They just had to hang in. Okay. For Patty Smith, politics is irrelevant. All of my activism is an extension of common sense, she said. It's obviously the right thing to do to fight for civil rights. It's not a matter of consideration or taste. Climate change, war, they really affect all people. So much of my efforts that are called political have just been toward the greater good. It's just an extension of common sense. That's it.
That's it.
You stand up for what's right because it is an extension of common sense, guys. We love you so much, and we know that you are with us in that way. And in all the ways, I mean, really, you're like, also give me like a fucking jokey marathon t-shirt. I'll wear it. I'll buy it. Give me a fucking good margarita recipe. I'm in. Give me a butternut squash soup. Yes. And
we
also,
love that about you.
And also, let me show up in ways I can. Let me speak up when I see injustice. Not be quiet around anyone concerning anti-Semitism, white nationalism, racism. It's fucking done. And just craziness, just crazy fucking talk. Carrie Lake in Arizona is one fucking unhinged motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it continues.
Yeah.
Horrible things being said against Indigenous people, about I mean, I'm truly, this is a tipping point. This is, it's not just crunch time. It is crunch time, but it's also a tipping point. We're at a tipping point culturally. And so it's all of our jobs, the sane ones.
Yeah, it's your fucking country too.
This is it. We're the sane ones, and we get to fucking stand up and be as loud as these motherfuckers. And I'm gonna fucking hold up a sign on the fucking 405 motherfuckers. I mean, mine would just be like,
I love Jewish people.
What? Sure. But I love Jewish
all
people. I love Jewish people. I love black people. I love whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those signs. It's one of those like lame fucking signs.
Well, it's one of those things where I think we get tripped up because all the shit we're saying is common sense. AKA, it should go without saying.
That's correct.
We have to fucking say it.
I know. Well, apparently we do, because the other side is just like, also, like, I do think it's so funny. Did you see that Yashar posted a tweet? What the fuck, Busy? I don't know how people speak anymore. Did you see that Yashar like had a tweet sometime last week that was like, if Jewish people only account for like 7% of the entire population, does it stand to reason that many people have never even met a Jewish person? And I was like, Yashar, are you listening to the fucking podcast or what?
Right.
Because it is like, and so like if you're listening and you're one of those people who's like, I've never met a Jewish person, well, now's your chance. You get to reach out.
Have tea with someone as Rabbi Sharon told us about.
Get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Volunteer.
Or if you can't do that, just what we were talking about earlier, diversify
that feed. Follow Rabbi Sharon.
Yeah.
Look at some of the beautiful sermons from Temple Ikar. Like, just do your own research.
Yeah. Seek out people who are not like yourselves so you can hear.
Okay. I know I'm not a scholar.
Yes.
I want to say one more thing.
One more thing. You can. We're our own bosses here.
Because I had this thought.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet. I'll have to look it up. And if anyone out there is listening and is like a theology expert, a theologian. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So given the information that we learned about my great-grandfather as a socialist Episcopal priest and his belief and a part of the movement of socialist priests at the turn of the century who really believed that these cities and the industrialization of the cities and the capitalist systems that were like coming in and taking power were antithetical to Christian values, and really were in line with socialist values, right? And we know that, like, according to Reverend Barber, when I had that conversation with him, he was like, oh yeah, the socialist priests were at the turn of the century were like really, they were like on a vibe, man. And they really had a mission, right?
Yeah.
But the capitalists and sort of like the Industrial Revolution, right? Because that was like the late 1800s into the early 1900s. Is that right? It's actually called the American Industrial Revolution, sometimes referred to as the Second Industrial Revolution. Began in the 1870s and continued through World War II. So I am right. That's what I'm talking about. The second,
Industrial Revolution. Yeah.
Combined with like capitalism taking a foothold in the United States, ended up like squashing the socialist priests and their movement. And, obviously we've seen religion, specifically Christianity of all kinds, co-opted by, honestly, greed.
Yes.
Right? And I guess, i.e., fucking capitalism.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But if you really go back to scripture, right? Like from a like if you're like actually a person who's looking at scripture.
Yes.
The scripture does not reflect capitalist values, does not reflect this hatred and the like casting people out and all that shit, right?
Right.
Now, here was my theory, or here was my idea, and I didn't know if this has like ever been written about or if it is a thing. I was talking with Zoe Lister-Jones because we were like having a conversation about, obviously, what's happening in this world, what's happening with the rise in anti-Semitism and white nationalism. And we were just like also talking about the Jewish faith and Jewish people and community and the like all of the Jewish people that I have in my life, and certainly that I know and like have a real tie into what the scripture that they fought, the Torah, like that it is about being equanimable and being inclusive and bringing people in. And even as like Rabbi Sharon said, like taking the stories of like, oh wait, maybe she didn't say this on this, but I watched another one of like Cain and Abel and seeing where the lesson there is and like taking it as and turning it into like a positive for humanity, right?
Right.
And so then I was like, Zoe and I were talking about this, and I was like, it's interesting that Judaism hasn't, like modern Judaism in our country, like all still are able to like, modern Jews are able to like hold those things, and that there hasn't been the movement like there has been in Christianity to like co-opt it by capitalism,
right,
etc. But then I realized that so many, I mean, there were definitely Jewish communities in the United States before the Second World War.
Yeah.
But really, like the greatest influx of Jewish communities, I think, was after World War II into the United States.
That makes sense.
Which would mean that it's after the capitalism's already gotten its fucking claws into Christianity,
right,
and the Industrial Revolution is basically over.
Right.
So the values and like the core of the religion was able to remain pure,
right,
from the corruption of American capitalism and like fucking political bullshit.
Well, American capitalism also accounts for the suspicion of all other people.
Right.
Because now everybody automatically feels like if they're not rich, it's because someone who is other is taking away from them. And if they are rich, they feel like they're in danger of...
But what is that from? It's not manifest destiny. What is that? What is the idea that you're owed a thing because you're just born in a place? Manifest destiny is not terribly far off. Manifest destiny is a phrase coined in 1845. It's the idea that the United States is destined by God. The advocates of manifest destiny believed, to expand its dominion and spread democracy and capitalism across the entire North American continent.
Whoo boy.
Wow. Manifest destiny, y'all. But that feels like it's co-opting a religious, like a Christianity or like a Christian religious
like
thing,
that's
right?
the cover. That's the cover for under which all these other things are happening, which we know to be true, which, is that's what we're experiencing now. So it's kind of wild because, Christianity, the tenets of Christianity were never meant to cover so many of the things that are being done in its name.
Right. I got to read my fucking great-grandfather's book, by the way. I haven't done it yet.
You do? You haven't read it yet.
I know.
Read it.
I mean, when do I have time? Do you know what I mean?
You know what you should do? You should, who owns the rights to that book?
Me.
You should record an audio version of it.
Oh my God, that's interesting.
And then we can, I don't know, put it somewhere.
Maybe my aunt and my mom. I don't know who owns. I don't think they do. They have any other. They have a couple other cousins, I think.
Okay. I'm sure everyone would give you permission, I feel like.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't know. But
we can't say.
well, but that would be really cool to record it and put it out there for people to hear if they were interested.
It's just all fascinating to me, like how all of these things intersect and how, you know, you're just a person.
Yeah.
So many of us, so many of us, most of us, in fact, the majority of us, the vast majority of us are just people fucking living our lives, trying our best, trying to do common people, trying to do what we think is right and the best. And even common people can get led astray, truly, by ideology and indoctrination, and it really does take all of your critical thinking skills to be on all the time in this moment in history. And it has, like, honestly, it has always been that way, but people really let their guards down.
Yeah.
And here we fucking are. Did you see that girl's tweet with her dad who'd been indoctrinated into QAnon? And
oh God, I don't think I did.
it's fucking fascinating. It's just an email that her dad sent her that is like literal nonsense.
Wow. Okay.
But, you know, and she's like, responds like, wow, Dad, this is very interesting information. Thank you for letting me know. A few questions, you know, and like asks him just like very not being a dick, not being like, you're fucking crazy. Just like, here are some questions I have for you.
Right. Wow.
Who has this information? If this war is about to start, this civil war is about to start happening, why are no major news organizations reporting on it? Like, what's, you know, just.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. Well, everybody, so many of you I know are like keeping up the good fight, and you're keeping us posted. We appreciate you so much. It really is. It's crunch time. If you are able to vote early and securely.
Oh, I'm going to vote early.
Yeah, do it
this week.
And let us know. Let us know you voted.
Vote early.
Vote your vagina
Vote them if you got
off.
them.
Vote your boobs off. Vote your butts off.
Vote your tits off, babies.
Vote your dicks off.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we love you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.